All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to the living Elohim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Let's pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. When shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. For if you had believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe words? So all praises be to Abba and Shamahim in the name of Yahushua. Let's pick this up in Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. But you, O Daniel, well, I started that verse 1. I'm sorry. And at that time shall Mikael stand up, the great prince, which stand for the children of your people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was, since there was a nation to the same time. And at that time your people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, some to shame, everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But you, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book till the time of the end. Many shall run. Shalom, man. Shalom, Brother Reynolds. God bless, Brother Langford. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Come over here to Revelation 12 real quick, live. Shalom, Jay. Not Revelation 12, Revelation 6. Shalom, Brother Ellis. So, Revelation chapter 6, I shall read verse 5. And when he opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, 3 measures of barley for a penny, and you hurt not the oil and the wine." So that is the seal that we're going to be dealing with. And what do y'all believe this seal is referring to? As forth as what's happening. Who said that? Who said that? Hit you with this bottle. Yes. Famine. Zechariah chapter 6 and verse 1. Come on, Timmy. Tighten up on your bike stroke.
Oh, yeah. I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came forth
chariots. That's what happened when you hang with the police.
Between 2 mountains. And the mountains were mountains of brass. And in the first chariot were red horses. And in the second chariot, black horses. And in the third chariot, white horses. And in the fourth chariot, gristle and bay horses. Then I answered and said unto the angel that talked to me, "What are these, my master?" And the angel said unto me, "These are the 4 ruachs of Shamahim, which go forth from standing before Yahuwah of all the earth. The black horses which are therein go forth into the north country, and the white go forth after them, and the gristle go towards the south country. And the bay went forth and sought to go, that they might walk to and fro throughout the earth. And he said, Get you hence, walk to and fro through the earth." So they walked to and fro through the earth. Then cried he upon me and spake unto me, saying, "Behold, these that go towards the north country have quieted my ruach in the north country."
So pause, right? So I just want you to see. You know about them horses, right? You ever heard about, the horsemen of the apocalypse and all that type of stuff? Come from the book of Zechariah. Come on, Sylvia. Matthew chapter 24. Let's see if you can get right this time. I need you to come to Matthew chapter 24. I need you to get it in about verse 4. That was Zechariah 6. Lee, where your mom at?
Back there.
What the hell? So y'all got to project your voices a lot too, because the people who further back, they can't hear y'all. So all that talking like you talking sweet in your police officer friend here. Yeah, we know you the police, nigga. Only police put them things in they locks.
And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Take heed that what?
No man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I'm Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
It is what?
Not yet.
It's not what?
Not yet.
Go ahead.
For nation shall rise against nation.
And what else?
Kingdom against kingdom.
And what else?
And there shall be famines.
There shall be what?
Famines.
Shall be what?
Famines.
Remember that black horse that you see in Zechariah, the same black horse you see in the Revelation, he coming to bring famine. Go ahead.
And pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
He bringing what?
Pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
So understand this here, right? We read one seal. That was the fifth seal. And that fifth seal, you seen people get killed for the word. Now we on the third seal. And with that one, you see individuals. I'm going to read it again. Right here in verse 5. When he opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Why is that important that he had a pair of balances in his hand? Don't worry about it. Come on, son. Deuteronomy 25 and I want to say 10. Deuteronomy 25 and 10. Come on with it. Shalom, Brother Howard.
And his name shall be called in Yasharal.
Go ahead. You good now.
The house of him that have his shoe loose. When men
go down to 10. Go down to 14. Tell me what I said.
You shall not have in your house diverse measures, a great and a small.
What is it? I came in here with a full suit on. Come on.
But you shall have a perfect and just weight.
You shall have a what?
A perfect and just weight.
You shall have a what?
A perfect and just weight.
What else?
A perfect and just measure shall you have, that your days may be lengthened in the land which Yahuwah your Elohim give you.
Go ahead.
For all that do such things, all that do unrighteously, an abomination unto Yahuwah your Elohim.
Y'all understand that anything that's a false weight and a false balance is an abomination? So this ain't, remember what we just seen in Revelation, right? It said when he opened the third seal, there was a beast and a person and a black horse, and the person that sat upon it had a pair of balances in their hand. Come on, son. Give me Genesis 49 and 6. Boy, you got to move swift, boy. Them boys will get you.
49 and 6. Oh, my soul, come not you.
You got to talk louder than that.
Oh, my soul, come not you in their secret until their assembly.
Drop down to verse 7 or 8. Matter of fact, give me 8. I don't need that.
Judah,
There we go.
you he whom your brethren shall praise, your hand be in the neck of your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down before you. Judah, a lion's whelp from the prey, my son, you are going up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion and as an old lion. Who
gonna do what?
Who shall rouse him up?
Now, of course, you know it's given figuratively, but it's not literally Yahushua sitting on that horse, but that's the Lord on that horse, executing all that. He just sending them out. See, again, everybody talk about that Daniel, knowledge being increased. They ain't understanding what them seals was and what he uncovered, because this revelation is showing you what these seals uncover. Because see, we probably do the seventh seal all by itself, because the seventh seal encompasses two different things. Dude knows what those two different things are encompassed in that seventh seal.
Beginning?
No, sir. The 7 trumpets are in them 7 seals. And then inside them 7 trumpets are the 7 vials. So it's a double whammy of judgment that is contained in them 7 seals. See, what in the 7th seal? Well, see, the thing with the 7 seals is it's all the judgments of Elohim. So as we've discussed in times past, what you see with these 7 seals is the manifestation of the plagues that hit upon Egypt, because everything that hit upon Egypt, didn't the law tell you that was for their judgment? Matter of fact, give me Exodus 6:1, man. Come on with it.
It said, then you said unto Moses, now you shall see what I will do to Pharaoh, for with the strong hand shall he let them go, and with the strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. And Elohim spoke to Moses and said unto him, I am Yahuwah, and I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob by my name Elohim Shaddai, but by my name Yahuwah I was not known to them. And I have also established my covenant unto them, and I will give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage wherein they were strangers. I have also heard the groanings of the children of Yasharal, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage. I have remembered my covenant.
Pause. Let me ask y'all a question. What is the thing that Yahuwah said he would be judging Egypt for? He said, I would judge them in all their what? Their idols. See, one of the things what we'll look at is just strictly like the oppression of the children of Israel in that particular place. But we often neglect the fact that Egypt was a land of idolatry to the full. Come on and get me Yahushua son of Noon, man. 24. Give me 24 and 14, man. Tell me what it says.
Now therefore fear Yahuwah and serve him in sincerity and truth. And I put away the Elohim which your fathers served on the other side of the flood in Mizraim to serve Yahuwah. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahuwah, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the Elohim of your fathers were served on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whom the land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahuwah. And the people answered and said, Elohim forbid that we should forsake Yahuwah to serve
what he
other
said
gods.
On the other side of that flood, do what?
He said, we will, whether the gods your fathers serve on the other side of the flood, the gods of the Amorites in whom the land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahuwah. And the people answered and said, Elohim forbid that we should not forsake Yahuwah to serve other gods.
Serve other what?
Serve other gods.
So the thing in Egypt, the issue wasn't just what them people were doing. They were serving other gods in that place. Man, do you notice that the overrhyming theme over and over again in this book is to stop being an idol? Boy, this nigga got on the Clay Huxtable special. That nigga definitely look like the insurance man. See, some of y'all too young to know that the insurance man came to your house. Y'all, you live in the hood, you might remember. Them niggas definitely come knock on the door. No, when you live where niggas at, because I live where niggas was at, and they came to the door. You know what I'm talking about? That nigga showed up faithfully, collecting a payment. Yeah, he ain't trying to sell you no life insurance. I don't even know how niggas got the life insurance, because he never knocked on nobody's door trying to get you to buy it. He was only coming to collect. You know what I'm talking about? See, you don't never see that. I ain't never seen that in white neighborhoods, but what niggas was at? Oh, that's the life insurance man. Everybody in the neighborhood know this white man. Don't nobody fool with him. No, he got money. Never heard him get robbed. Nigga robbed the pizza man, not the insurance man. The insurance man got more money than the pizza man. Man, I got a homeboy did 6 years because he robbed the Subway man. Subway? Yeah, Subway used to deliver. Boy, shoot. Boy, that boy was in Pottsburg. Boy, that boy sticking up anybody. Pizza man, whatever. You deliver, you know, back then, them niggas had a little bit of cash on them. So niggas felt like they get a couple $100. Definitely robbing the cab, man. He definitely getting stuff.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of ice cream man.
Around here, boy. But like we say, yeah, my grandma had one. He was Jewish. Always white men. I guess because they probably had checks. They ain't had cash. You know what I'm saying? You can't rob a nigga for no checks. Where you going to cash them at? But the thing in the text, man, what you always see, which we totally neglect, is the fact that it's about idolatry. It's always about idolatry and the worship of another deity. Come on, boy. Y'all boy got to move swift, boy. That boy around here taking y'all niggas food out here, man. Get an Exodus 21, man. He say he wanna earn his keep. You know, you got a whole day to yourself.
And Elohim spake all these words.
Exodus 21. Now I give you a little leeway. You know what I'm saying? He trying to earn his keep. Exodus 21.
And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I, Yahuwah your Elohim, which have brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me.
You shall have no what?
No other gods before me.
See, that's the whole issue. That's the first instruction you ever been given. That's what it boiled down to. Everything else is irrelevant. Some of y'all remember the song Biggie had talking about Faith Evans, man? He ain't called her by name, though. You know what he said that heifer did? Not what Pac said she did. I'm talking about what Big said she did. He said, who would have ever thought you would spread like mustard? Look, that's your line, huh? You remember that? Yeah, that was your line. How you did mine. I played it all the time. I sang it with passion. Because you know that what Ezekiel say. He didn't say you spread like mustard, but he said you open your feet to everybody that passed by. You know how raggedy of a heifer Faith Evans is? Faith Evans is the bald-headed hoe that's in the book of Proverbs that commit adultery and wipe her mouth and say, I have done nothing amiss. Because the bald-headed hoe admitted that she was in the hotel with the nigga. So you going to tell me you going to see your husband's enemy? You already a scallywag because you went around there. You ain't got no business having business with my enemies. You ain't no wife of mine. You a whore. Now I got to do you like Nino Brown. I got to cancel you. You know what I'm saying? Like a free trial subscription right before a term when you got to pay.
You get nothing.
You know what I'm talking about?
Cancel the day.
Cancel the day. I'll cancel the day. I'm talking about 10 minutes before it expires. Oh my. And finally decided to make an appearance. But all jokes aside though, you know what I'm saying? He told you that in Ezekiel. He said you open your feet to everybody that passed by. In him you were. You understand how serious that is? That means you bring shame to his name. And that's referring to idolatry, not the literal aspect of having physical intimacy. Because you becoming one with another Elohim is to what? The Yada Elohim, which means you would know him in the biblical sense. Come on, man. Where you was at? Exodus 20. What you had here? You had Matthew 24, didn't you? Mm-hmm. We good with that. So, we talking about famine. What y'all know about famine? Y'all know anything about famine? You ever seen a famine? It's been some famines in y'all lifetime, whether you know it or not. In the world, maybe not necessarily in America. You know, it was a famine in North Korea in about 1994. It was a famine in a certain spots of Africa. When I say famine, meaning no food. Like, boy, they were like, Kim Jong was like, hey, man, shoot, nigga, we gonna ball. These niggas gonna starve to death and die. It's no exaggeration. You know what I'm saying? This man riding around in Benzes, doing X, Y, Z, and he let his people starve to death. Because they ain't had no food. Because them people were isolated from the rest of the world. The Soviet Union fell. It wasn't no food. And he like this here, ball or feed the people. He said, I'm a ball. Yeah, that's serious. You know what I'm talking about? But you know why he's able to do that? Because he's in a communist state. So in a communist state, the government controls everything. There's no private property. There's no ownership, and you can't own nothing. Not in Korea. Hell, even in China, them niggas got to ask permission to leave. You know what I'm talking about? They got to say, hey, man, can I fly to such and such? And he got to stamp that, or you ain't going nowhere. So a lot of y'all wouldn't be able to deal with that. Y'all be complaining about these crackers, boy. You'll be like, in some place, you'll be like, oh, no. But see, here's the trade-off. You got a little bit more liberty to do X, Y, Z over here, but you being exploited at levels that you wouldn't even think you being exploited at. To at least them people know they being exploited. You know what I'm saying? You think you ain't being exploited. That's what make it bad. You think you good. Did y'all look at that clip that I sent to y'all, man? When Buddy was talking about how they got to get inflation down? Did you see what this man said, what they got to do to get inflation down? That man said they have to raise the unemployment rate by double to bring inflation down. So in order for inflation to get at regular levels, man say unemployment got to get to at least 10.5% nationwide. And this is on purpose, engineered and specific. You know what I'm talking about? So that's showing you that nigga, it's finna get ugly as all hell out here. You know what I'm talking about? And that these people don't give a damn about nobody. Absolutely nobody. And what was funny was the congressman was pressing the dude from the Federal Reserve, and he didn't really want to come out and say it because he knew it was true. He tried to beat around the bush. Dude he said, okay, hold on. Let me ask it to you like this. He said, hold on, well, let me word it like this. And basically effectively said, yes, to get inflation down, we got to put people out of work. Because you know what happens when you put people out of work? technically, shalom, Quran, there's no money in circulation because you ain't got a job. You know what I'm talking about? So since you ain't got a job, you can't spend no money, which takes the debt notes out of circulation, which in turn makes it more valuable, which drops the price of goods and services. And this is why you seeing people saying, damn, I got to get an extra job. I got to do this. I got to do that. Because they squeezing you to the point where they hope that your head bursts and that you be silly enough to either just live on the street or go commit crime. But they also do these things also is to be able to create a system where when you have a tyrannic ruler rise up, that he can have a boogeyman to blame stuff on that all the people can rally behind and say, yeah, he's the enemy. And you get deflected and you get manipulated and get destroyed later on down the line. That's how the game goes. You find a common enemy and you blame him. Yeah. You didn't know that? That's what Hitler did. Them Jewish people wasn't fooling with nobody in general. You know what I'm saying? But they was over there getting a little bit of money. Them Germans felt like we wasn't getting no money. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, let's blame somebody. They blamed the Jewish people. That was his rise to power. We were looking at it today. Idi Amin did the same thing. Had them old Indian niggas over there and wherever the name of that damn country he come from. You know what I'm saying? With them. And them niggas was over there balling. And the Ugandan niggas was broke. So he looked at it. Let me blame these Asian niggas. You know what I'm talking about? And they put all them niggas out of the country. But that's what helped him get the power. Got to have somebody to blame. What you think gonna happen in the time of the end? Who you think the beast gonna blame? It's them Yahusha niggas. They the problem. I'm telling you, that's what he gonna do. That's what he gonna do. It's them Jesus niggas. They the problem. They the enemy. They the one causing all the problems. Yeah. That's what he gonna do. It's just like Haman. We didn't talk about that. Looking at Haman as a similar to other beasts, because that's what he did. These people, they don't listen in your realm. They ain't like everybody else. You have to create. Only different was Haman didn't create an upswelling of everybody to hate this group of people. You know what I'm saying? He just coming to the king like, hey man, we need to get rid of these niggas, only because he had a beef with one man. You know what I'm saying? See, Haman had beef with Mordecai. He didn't really have beef with the people as a whole. But in his mind, to kill Mordecai, let's just kill all of them. That's why, come on, give me Daniel 8:22 one more time, man. We read it last night. I'm just trying to give you the game, see how the game goes. Now, you can sit around here and walk around here like a turkey with your head in the ground, and you know what I'm saying? And you're going to get plucked. See, this your problem. You want to try to be over his shoulder? That man trying to work.
Now that being broken, whereas four stood up
for
for
take your old lady to work, eh?
4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Pause. Tell them what my practice is, Sid.
That's also to do, to fashion, to accomplish.
He will seek to accomplish things. Continue. Go ahead.
And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Paul, tell him what policy and craft is.
Policy is skill, prudence, insight, understanding.
So it's through his understanding. We about to read the verse. You know what he got understanding of.
And then craft is deceit or treachery.
So through his understanding, he gonna deceive. And what did the book tell you about the serpent? How did the book describe the serpent in the beginning? He was more subtle. He worked with a little deceit, little treachery. Come on, sir.
And he shall magnify in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
By what?
By peace he shall destroy many.
So he gonna run the game. See, he gonna act like he fooled with you Yahusha niggas, but in reality, he's setting it up. Through his understanding, he gonna deceive. He gonna use that to get you killed, which is gonna take you back to that 5th seal, which this seal is obviously before the 5th seal. Continue.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes,
and shall be what?
Shall be broken without hand.
Mm.
And the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true.
That's good. He said that vision true now. So now we talking about famines, right? Which famine you want to talk about first? You looking crazy like you don't know what I'm talking about. Glory. They say that's your song, and you used to be that when you were little. Just walk around and sing glory, glory, hallelujah. Come on over here to 1 Kings chapter 8, man. Give me verse 33. Sean say, who is this nigga on the track?
When your people Yasharah be smitten down before the enemy, because they have sinned against you, and shall turn again to you, and confess your name, and pray, and make supplication unto you in this house. Then hear you in heaven, and forgive the sin of your people Yasharah, and bring them again into the land which you gave unto the fathers, unto their fathers. When heaven is shut up,
Bible study,
and there is no rain, because they have sinned against you, if they pray towards this place and confess your name and turn from their sin when you afflict them, then hear you in heaven and forgive the sin of your servants and of your people Yasharah, that you teach them the good way wherein they should walk, and give rain upon your land, which you have given to your people for an inheritance. If there be in the land of famine,
and land of what?
If there be in the land famine,
be land of where and what?
If there be in the land famine,
pause. Give me Amos 3. One of y'all. Come on, little Bible study. Come on and hang out with me, man. Amos 3 and 1.
Hear this word that Yahuwah has spoken against
you,
little
Bible study.
O children of Yasharah, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Will a lion roar in the forest when he have no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? Shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city?
Shall a trumpet be blown in the city?
And the people be not afraid?
And they be not a what?
Afraid.
Be not what?
Afraid. Shall there be evil in the city? And
shall there be evil in the city and I, Yahuwah, have not done it?
Surely Yahuwah Elohim will do nothing, but he revealed his secret unto his servants.
I'm only reading that for you to understand. Now read that 1 Kings 8 and what? 37 one more time. That what verse you in?
No, I'm in 37.
No, what I just said. 1 Kings 8 and 37.
No, I'm in Amos. I had moved up.
Oh, Amos. Oh, you need to go back where you was at. Oh, if you're gonna do that there, boy, you gotta see, you gotta hold steady.
For sure. 1 Kings.
What you what? 8 and 37? It's all good. It's a rookie mistake. What you laughing for, boy? You made plenty of rookie mistakes. That nigga got fired. He ain't never get hired. That nigga ain't even quit. That nigga just stopped coming to work. That nigga Lil Johnny just stopped coming to work.
I was trying not to say nothing.
I already like that. I know it. Selling insurance. Talking about Liberty Mutual. Nigga, we don't want none of that junk. Nigga, we want farmers, nigga. Nigga, Liberty Mutual ain't got no song. Come on, man. 1 Kings 8 and 37.
If there be in the land famine, if there be pestilence, blasting, mildew, locust, if there be caterpillar, if their enemy besiege them in the land of their cities, whatsoever plague, whatsoever sickness there be, what prayer and supplication soever be made by any man or by all your people Yasharah, which shall know every man the plague of his own heart.
Know every man the plague of his what?
His own heart.
Tell him what plague is in that verse. See, we got you. Nigga moving too slow, man, or I'm not talking too fast. He said, man, every man know the plague of his own. I'm only reading this here to know that famines come from Yahuwah. So let me ask you this question right here. Slow, Shaul. Let me ask y'all this question right here. Was there a famine in Egypt in them plagues? What famine was it? I said with them plagues.
Plague is naga, stroke, plague, disease, mark.
Everybody know the disease of his own heart. See, every man know the disease of his own heart. That they killed cattle, but it doesn't tell you that there was a famine in Egypt when the plagues hit. But I would wager that they definitely had a large den in food. I guarantee you that. All their crops got ate up. Their cattle died. You know what I'm talking about? And everything that go along with that. See, you think about Joseph's famine, which is way later. Like locusts ate up their crops, all their cattle died, but it doesn't specifically say in the text that they had a famine on your way out the door. You know what I'm talking about? But we can wager through simple common sense that they probably took a large dinner and some food. All your cattle can't die and all your crops don't die, and you don't have no problems. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? He definitely attacked them economically. I mean, when you look at how Babylon gonna get destroyed, when you look at it, you got to understand something, right? Money is tied to power, but it's not tied to power in the way that the average person thinks money is tied to power. Money and resources are tied to power with your ability to have an army and to be able to fund it, to be able to push back your enemies. You can't have a power and not have any money. That's why nigga tell you, man, don't go to war till you get your money right. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have the resources to be able to endure a military campaign.
Ukraine, they say America giving Ukraine all their money.
Well, I mean, America, that's the surface stuff. But in reality, they funding both sides of the conflict. Because that's what happened during World War II. Y'all know who funded World War II from over here, don't you? Nah, shoot, Bush. Some of y'all own his vehicles. Oh yeah, Henry Ford funded both sides of the war. Mm-hmm. He a Jew himself. Shoot, look like one. Nigga definitely looked like Skeletor before he got old. You know what I'm talking about? But nevertheless, they fund both sides of conflict because it's money in war. You know how much money a country got to spend to fight a military conflict? You know how much a jet costs?
That's already billions right there.
You know how much a missiles cost? Way more than $1 million, son. Way more than $1 million.
17 million.
Huh? Bullet, you gotta buy bullets, you gotta buy guns by the crates, grenades, military tracking systems, drones. And that's just one branch of the military. Because now you gotta talk about what the Air Force needs. What does the Navy need? Which of course the Marines is a subset of the Navy, so what they need. Then you got Black Ops, they don't even put their budget on the books. That's before you even go to talking about the CIA. You know what I'm talking about? And what their budget is. So costs a lot of money because they be funding wars that can't be won. Like they funded a war in Korea that they knew couldn't be won. Do y'all know the Korean War was a stalemate that the United States didn't win? They just went over there and called it a tie. But what's it? A tie's cool when you're playing football, not when you're talking about people dying. Well, they went to the Vietnam War, and you can actually listen to men who were over there and say they were fighting a war with one arm tied behind their back because they would not allow them to go full throttle because they weren't over there to win. It's the same thing happened when they went to Iraq the second time. It's the same thing they were doing when they went to Afghanistan. How you gonna fight a war for 20 years and lose? Well, they was in Afghanistan for 2 decades, man. They was over there for a long time. Do you realize after 9/11 went down, they went over there fooling with them people? And don't you realize after they went over there, all of a sudden niggas started getting on heroin and fentanyl and opiates out the butthole? Because that's all that's over there. Nothing but good heroin. Nothing but, and they done did documentaries and movies that these men was over there. Still, hell, that's why they was in Vietnam so long. That's what they say. But they say Frank Lucas was lying though. About shipping that doggone dope in them caskets. They said that nigga was lying. As a matter of fact, niggas said that Frank Lucas was a notorious liar. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't know what he was doing, but it was definitely. But you notice that's what they had going on over there. He said they got some high class heroin out that joint. Allegedly, shoot, ain't no alleged. They definitely did. That's why they was in Vietnam so long. It was dope over there. Man, they go over there and fight them clandestine war, get all that dope, man, and then come on back to the house, nigga. And niggas in America getting sky high. Why you think the Mexicans be doing what they be doing? They just be snatching niggas, man. But niggas be going down there trying to sell some dope. Well, go cross that border, Doris. Go across that border. They gonna know you're a fed. Roll your eyes again, nigga. See, that's what the police do. See, real niggas don't do that. Watching you. They always send a nigga to infiltrate. We figured you out. Ain't no women on no earth named Michael. We know your name James. It's okay. This nigga told Sylvie she was 24. That nigga gonna be upset. He find out she in early menopause. Can't have no baby. This nigga damn near fit.
That's what it is, a little hot in here.
Look at that nigga be like, what? I've been scammed. Come on, man. Where you at?
He's still on the first King's League.
Yeah, we were good with that. I think I mentioned something else. So this probably was in my brain. It was. So what famine y'all want to look at first? There's several famines. You got the famine of Ruth. You got the famine of David. You got the famine of Abraham. You got the famine of Joseph. You got the famine of Elijah. You got the famine of Elisha. Don't worry about it. 2 Kings chapter 6, man, verse 20. Y'all don't remember? Y'all, I'm gonna do the one with Elisha because that one don't get talked about a lot. Who in here is not familiar with the famine during the time of Elisha? The police. You can't mess with the police. Make it 6 and 24.
And it came to pass after this, then Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver.
Listen to right. He said a donkey's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. See, now I want to go back to something in Revelation, right? Come on over here, Revelation. I want you to share these words with these people. Now, in verse 6, right? That's what I want you to read. I want you to read Revelation 6 and 6.
It said, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny.
A measure of what?
A measure of wheat for a penny.
3 measures
of barley for a penny.
And seed.
And hurt not the oil and the wine.
Now, I want you to tell them what a measure of barley is. I want you to tell them what a penny is. Now, notice that he said, now ask yourself this question. Who wants to eat a donkey's head? And these men had to pay 80 pieces of silver for a donkey's head. And then it also said that they, for a 4th part of a dove's doo-doo, they had to pay 35 pieces of silver. Can you imagine giving a day's wage for doggone bird doo-doo?
They say a penny is 10 asses.
A day's worth of labor. Tell them what a measure is.
They don't say uncertain. It just say draw measure.
But it also tell you a day, well, yours might be different. A day's worth of food. Or what I was looking for. A day's
it says worth as much as will support a man of moderate appetite for a day.
A day's worth of food of moderate appetite. So little Johnny scarred. He ain't got no moderate appetite.
So a day's worth of food would be worth $10.
What'd you say?
Say we come down to it.
I ain't talking about the doo-doo. I'm talking about no. I'm talking about the passage, right? Read it for him again. I ain't talking about the doo-doo.
He said a measure of wheat for a penny.
So a measure of wheat for a penny. That word measure, that's referring to, that's enough food for a man of moderate appetite to eat for one day. And then the penny, what you buying it for, is a day's worth of wages. So you're spending a day's worth of wages for a moderate amount of food for one day. So that's what the rider on the black horse is saying. Basically, everybody is going to have a day's worth of food every day. No excess. Nothing, no extras. That's why you ought to be thankful and appreciate what you got instead of complaining about what you don't got. Because when the day comes, you around here talking about a measure of barley for a penny, you're going to be thinking about that food you wasted.
I thought it was saying a day's worth of food gonna be worth 10 donkeys.
Nah.
Like he was saying, a donkey's head gonna be worth 40 pieces of silver.
For a measure of barley, for that weight of barley, for a penny. Or whatever they call it, whatever actual
It said denarius.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That the Roman coins. So I didn't want you to think about that. And I'm just comparing that to what you see in verse 25. Read again, Sibby. 2 Kings.
And it was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver.
Woo!
And the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of
silver. And the king
of Yasharal was passing by upon the wall. There cried a woman unto him, saying, Help my lord, O king.
He said,
If Yahuwah do not help you, when shall I help you?
He said, Boy, if the Lord can't help you, I can't do nothing for you.
Out of the barn or out of the winepress?
He said, Out of the barn floor, out of the winepress. And the king said unto her,
What ail you?
She answered,
This woman said unto me, Give your son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow.
So we boiled
my son and did eat him.
That's how serious people talk about, man, they in there eating people in the Bible. That's because you niggas ain't never seen a famine. Boy, look here, boy. When it come down to famine, that lady said, screw my son, nigga. We gonna eat that nigga.
Somebody got to go.
Somebody got to go. Come on, James. That's how she felt. Go ahead, man. That's ugly.
So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give your son that we may eat him. And she had hid her son.
And she played the game wrong. I mean, eat little Billy back. James coming with me though.
And it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, sackcloth within upon his flesh. Then he said, Elohim, do so, and more also to me, if the head of Elisha, the son of Shaphat, shall stand on him this day. But Elisha sat in his house, and the elders sat with him, and sent the man from before him. But ere the messenger came to him, he said to the elders, See you how this son of a murderer have sent to take away my head? Look, when the messenger comes, shut the door, and hold him fast at the door, not the sound of his master's feet behind him. And while he yet talked with them, behold, the messenger came down unto him, and he said, Behold, this evil of Yahuwah. What should I wait for Yahuwah any longer?
He said, This evil is a who?
Yahuwah.
So I'm just showing you again in Revelation, that famine coming from Yahuwah. Now I want you to keep on going, Sid. Verse 1 in the next chapter. It's some more information.
Then Elisha said, Hear you the word of Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah, tomorrow about this time, a measure of fine flour for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and the gate of Samaria.
So notice right now, he said a nice amount of food going to be sold for next to nothing. You finna have a lot. Listen to him.
Then the Lord on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of Elohim and said, Behold, if Yahuwah will make widows in Shamahim, might this thing be? And he said, Behold, you shall see with your eyes, but shall not eat thereof.
He said, You're going to see it, but you still going to be hungry, nigga. Come on.
And there were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate, and they said one to another, Why sit we here until we die? If we say we'll enter into the city, then the famine in the city, we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we die also. Now therefore come and let us fall unto the host of the Syrians. If they save us alive, we shall live. And if they kill us, we shall but die.
Well, don't drop down to verse 13. We won't read everything in between that.
And one of his servants answered and said, Let take, I pray you, 5 of the horses that remain, which are left in the city. Behold, they as all the multitude of Yasharal that are left in it. Behold, they, even as all the multitude of Israelites that are consumed, and let us send and see. They took therefore 2 chariot horses, and the king sent after the host of the Syrians, saying, Go and see. And they went after them unto Jordan, and lo, all the way full of garments and vessels, which the Syrians had cast away in their haste. And the messengers returned and told the king.
And the people
went out and spoiled the tents of the Syrians.
So a measure
of fine flour was for a shekel,
and 2 measures of barley
for a shekel,
according
to the word of Yahuwah.
And the king
appointed the Lord on whose hand leaned to have charge of
the
the
I
gate.
want you to see how this tie back to the other thing we just discussed in Ecclesiastes chapter 2. What he said in Ecclesiastes chapter 2, what sinners do. He said they gather up so they can leave it to the righteous. Notice you ain't have to do nothing but wait for them people to slip, and you come through and grip, and my people gonna be straight. Go ahead.
And the people trode upon him in the gate, and he died as the man of Elohim had said, who spake when the king came down to him. And it came to pass as the man of Elohim had spoken to the king, saying, 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and a measure of fine flour for a shekel shall be tomorrow about this time in the gate of Samaria. And that Lord answered the man of Elohim and said, now behold, Yahuwah shall make widows in Shamahim, might such a thing be? And he said, behold, you shall see it with your eyes, but shall not eat thereof. And so it fell out unto him, for the people trode upon him in the gate, and he died.
That's good. Come on, pick me up in verse 8 of chapter 6, Will. Because I want you to all see what got them to that point. Because y'all know who Elisha was beefing with at this time, correct? Could y'all tell me who he was beefing with at this time? The Syrians. Hold on. And why is this important? Do y'all know the story when he came to the king and he handed him the arrows? What did Elisha tell the king to do? And what did the king do? He said, man, you should have stepped on them till they were consumed. Elisha was pissed off with him about that. He said, boy, you should have stepped on them whole till all them niggas were dead. See, the difference between us and those who really be a Yahuwah is that if a man who really a Yahuwah know that a group of people or an individual is an enemy of God, they want them men obliterated. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't no, nah, man, kill all them niggas, man. Kill their babies, kill everybody. You know why? Because they did it to you. See, the brother up in Charlotte was just discussing this here, which y'all already know, right? It's for like when you're dealing with the cup, right? What Paul told you about that cup and that bread, man? If you drink it unworthily, what you doing? You're bringing damnation on yourself. But what does that take you back to in the law, though, right? Because he said you'll be guilty of the Lord's blood and his body. What did the law say about that? The law say whosoever sheds man's blood, by man must his blood be shed. You understand? So when you look at how Elisha looked at it, these people were shedding your blood. They were shedding the blood of the prophets. They were shedding the blood because Benadad was acting a fool. You understand? He was killing righteous people. Their blood is on the ground. Elisha looking like here, man, kill all the niggas. FaceTime video. That baby say, you better talk to me. I'll go and see what that baby want, man. I ain't being funny. Don't do that baby like that, man. Just go ahead and let her know what you're doing until you call back when you get finished. Go ahead, man.
It said, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on it was Death.
No. 2 Kings 6.
Oh, you asked me. It say, and the king of Syria warred against Yasharal and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such a place shall be my camp.
And the man of Elohim
said unto the king of Yasharal, saying,
beware,
thou shalt not pass such a place. Thou shalt pass not such a place, for there the Syrians are come down.
The Malach of Yasharal
sent to the place where the man of Elohim told him and warned of him,
and saved himself.
Not once nor twice.
Therefore,
the heart of the king of Assyria was sore troubled for this thing. And he called his servants and said unto them, will you not show me which of us is for the king of Yasharal?
One of the servants said,
none, my master, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Yasharal. Tell the king of Yasharal the words that you speak in thy bedchamber. And he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan.
You been to Dothan before? Who been to Dothan before? You been to Dothan? So you ain't never been to Alabama. You ain't know it was a Dothan, Alabama? These white folks be naming all types of cities, all type of stuff out of this book. I'm dead serious. You got Dothan, Alabama. You got Bethesda, Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Got Memphis. And it's pretty more that I'm just forgetting. That's not coming to the top of my head. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of cities. You got Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I don't think it's a Damascus over here, I think. I could be mistaken. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Therefore sent he their horses and chariots, a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of Elohim was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do?
And he answered,
Fear not,
that they
be with us are more than they that be with them.
Elisha prayed
and said, Yahuwah, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see.
Yahuwah opened the eyes of the young man. What he saw?
And he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
And when they came down to him,
Elisha prayed unto Yahuwah and said, Smite this people,
I pray you,
with blindness.
He smote them
with blindness according to the word of Elisha.
And Elisha said unto them,
This is not the way,
neither
is this the city.
Follow
me.
I'll bring you to the man
who you see. But he led them to Samaria.
And it came to pass,
when they were come to Samaria, that Elisha said, Yahuwah opened the eyes of these men, that they may see.
Yahuwah opened eyes.
And they saw, behold, in the midst of Samaria.
So they wanted to keep y'all in mind that what he was doing to these people, he blinded them so they couldn't see. Remember, he said he came to give sight to those who were blind and to blind those who could see. So they would not be able to know what was going on. These people weren't prepared for this famine that would come. Come over here to Job chapter 5. Let's look at another element of famine that they got to say with that. Job chapter 5, you can give me verse 12. Job 5 and 12.
He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands could not perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime. They grope in noonday as in the night. But he saved the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. So the poor have hope.
The poor have what?
Hope.
Have what?
Hope.
Come on.
And iniquity stop her mouth.
She do what?
Iniquity stop her mouth.
So let's just pause, right? Let's want to back up a little bit, right? He said he set up those on high that be low. Those which mourn may be exalted to safety. So that's Luke 24. Definitely. I ain't even see what you was referring to there, Mother Sharon, about them frogs. But in Luke 24, right? Were not the apostles mourning? He said, what are these communications that you are sad, right? And then he said, those that mourn, they'll be exalted to safety. Give me safety in the Hebrew, man. Oh, that rain stopped pretty quick. They said it was going to rain all day. Yahuwah said you have been deceived. Your radar has belied you. You got safety? All right, quick.
Is Yesa or Yesa, that's deliverance or salvation.
So notice, right, those that mourn may be exalted to salvation. Not safety is for protection, but salvation. Which, of course, you know they got because they received the Ruach HaKodesh. He breathed on them that night, breathed life into them because he gave them the word of the testimony. But let's continue. Verse 12, we already read 12. I'm backing up. So then when you look at he disappoint the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform enterprise. Let them know what enterprise is.
It's to see him. That's wisdom, sound knowledge.
So he defeats their wisdom. What is the wisdom of these individuals who had plans and plots that were crafty or deceitful? Which, of course, is the John 11 and 45, right? If we leave them alone, we're going to lose our place in nation. So they weren't able to perform their wisdom of that which it is that they sought to execute. He said he take the wise in their own craftiness and the counsel of the froward is carry headlong. This also tied to Joseph. Because what did it say in Genesis 50 about Joseph? Y'all know what it said? You thought for me to do to me evil, but it ended up being good, saving many souls alive. What the scribes and Pharisees thought to do to Mashiach saved many souls alive. But again, remember what I mentioned. Get that Genesis 9 and 5. Come on over. Get that Genesis 9 and 5 real quick. Because remember, the man sitting on the horse, what did he have in Revelation? What he had in his hand? Balance is in his hand. That means he will come in to execute some judgment. What does Revelation 19 say that Yahushua is coming back to do? To judge. He said, in righteousness, he shall judge and make war. You know what I'm talking about? Look at he looking at that nigga. This nigga's a fed. That's John funny because Dr. Dre is the most horrible actor in the world. That nigga say he didn't want to take that money. This nigga's a fed. He ain't never been in another movie since. You ever seen The Wash? That nigga was horrible.
What movie that was you was in?
Oh, he was in Training Day. You don't remember Dr. Dre was in Training Day? When they was up there on that roof and that white boy want to take that money? That nigga, this nigga's fed.
You pulled one out. I forgot about that one.
He had them old, wherever the hell he was at. Either way, with them braids in his head, that nigga definitely looked like he liked to go see Trandis on Skid Row. You know what I'm saying? Pick him up a small man on Rodeo. He said he can't get caught on Slauson. He ain't gonna go around there no way. Man, I don't care nothing about Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre a horrible nigga. This nigga looked a woman in the face and took another man's wife and told her he was gonna take care of her for the rest of her life. He deserved every negative thing he get. He's a piece of garbage. He's a man who lack understanding. How you look at another man's wife talking about, baby, come be with me, I'll take care of you for the rest of your life. You a beta male sin man, John. You lower than scum. You know what type of nigga you is? You got to be to go to another. The woman that divorced him, she was married to another man.
That was a basketball player.
She was married to a basketball player. So we ain't talking about somebody's girlfriend. That was his wife. And he knew that was that man's wife. It's not like he met and if he didn't know that was his wife and he did it, he's still a sucker. But you knew that was another man's wife, and the only thing you could tell her is, and that's why he gonna take care for the rest of his life. That's why he got to pay what he got to pay. That's why he should have died when he had an aneurysm. The Lord blessed him. Yeah, man, shoot, man. That woman was talking about she needed $2 million a month from this nigga. She said she was spending not like almost $500,000 just on entertainment. I said, who the hell you bringing to the house? You know what I'm talking about? You hiring a performer? Well, she broke that junk down when she wanted them $2 million a month for. He deserved every bit of it. That's why that nigga sold his catalog. You know, Drake sold his whole catalog. Had to. Shoot, nigga, he got to pay that hoe. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't mad at her. Because she evil as hell. He twice as evil. She 3 times, though. Because you knew you had a husband. But you's a hell of a nigga to go. Any dude that'll look a chick who he know got a husband and come with that simp game talking about I take care. If you even approach a woman talking about you'll take care for the rest of your life, your manhood has been just thrown down. You're just horrible. That's not what you should lead with. You lead with your wallet. That's why she got his wallet now. You know what I'm saying? Strong face looking hoe. You ever seen that nigga wife? She got a strong chin. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen Walker, Texas Ranger? She got a chin like that. You know what I'm talking about? That's just long and strong, boy. I'm talking about if she had a beard, it'd definitely do like it did on Family Guy. And the dog gonna punch. Bah! Hey, don't mind me. Them people evil as hell. That junk ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? You ain't lying, Brother Langford. It is a form of idolatry because you're trying to get that woman to worship you for what you can do for her. You know what I'm talking about? Because let's not get it twisted. We didn't talk about this before. If you around here getting upset, if you a grown man and you talking about you want a woman to like you for you, get your stupid behind out of here, man. You're a grown man. You got to have some type of benefit and usefulness. You worry about you don't want the woman to get over for you on you because you won't make her earn nothing you give her. You're getting it to her for a hopes of a little Rick James. You know what I'm talking about? Little gushy stuff. No, man. You can't do that. Don't be mesmerized by a little skeeting, a little slide in. A lot of dudes make bad decisions because they're looking for a little slide in, man. What is that?
He liked that Rick James.
What was that? No, man. Don't do that to yourself. That's right, Brother Langford ain't lied. It'll bring you to room. Book tell you that. Book tell you, man, you better be careful. He told you get you a lady. Man, I had a conversation with somebody the other day, man. I had to tell him, man, I get tired of women using that doggone passage. He that finds a wife, find a good thing. Baby, that's not what you think it means. It says he that acquires. That's what it actually said when it say find. He that possesses or acquires a wife gets favor. You know why he gets favor? Because Hebrews tell you that marriage is honorable in all. You know what I'm talking about? See, people take that passage to mean like, oh, see, he find a wife, you find a good thing. No, that's not what that means, baby. That means if this man acquires a wife, he'll get the favor of God because being married is favorable in his eyesight. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Because guess what? You can find a woman and marry her and she be not a wife. You ain't got a good thing. You got a woman. Because what the book tell you, right? I would say a woman who destroy her house is what? Foolish woman, pluck her house down. Say a shameless woman is rottenness to a man's bones. He said a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. So there's a difference. See, we supposed to be in the word and have enough sense to know that. Because he do tell you, if you got you a nice wife, what he told you to do with rejoice with the wife of your youth. You know, be joyful and happy with her. But just because you get married, that don't mean you done found a good thing. That means you got married. That's all that means. We live in a horrible society. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know that. Y'all know that. Horrible society. The men ain't husbands and the women ain't wives. And shalom, Brother Craig. And the men ain't leaders and the women ain't followers. And everybody wants to be perverted. Because for some reason in my YouTube shows, it kept popping up with these doggone conversations with these doggone confused trannies. These niggas crazy. I ain't being funny. These niggas crazy, bro. Man, you would have heard some of this stuff these people were saying, bro. Niggas say, dude say, so you're telling me that if a woman puts on an outfit and says that she's a man, that she can give birth? And they're like, yeah. And they say, but that's still a woman. She's just dressed up like a man. Well, just because you have uterus and ovaries doesn't make you a woman. What the hell? Well, what else does?
Because white women, they get mad at that.
I'm talking about them white women get offended.
Yeah, they
be ready to fight.
On TikTok, it's going down. They're not playing.
Like they like this here. You know what's crazy? This white dude told these people this here. This one was hilarious. He said, you're saying that you're oppressed, right? He said, well, good luck with you from being oppressed by the men who are now saying that they women who you said were oppressing you. Because now you're about to be oppressed by men dressed up like women and you co-sign it. That is a level of psychosis that cannot be explained in any type of language that is spoken under heaven. Do you understand how crazy you got to be? That women are advocating for men to be called women and then get the rights that they say they don't have. Because they say he's being this man has a penis, man. I heard a lady say, you can't say he's not a woman if he's had the surgery. I'm like, so y'all putting in store-bought coochie? No, this is what it was. The lady got upset because he said they asked him a question. Would you rather have sex with a tranny or never have sex again in life? He said, I don't want to have sex with a tranny because then I'd be a homosexual. And that white woman got hot. How could you say that? And he said, because that's a man. But he identifies as a woman, but that's still a man's butt. That's a man. So you want me to convince myself I'm in a relationship with a woman because he thinks, so you want me to have the same mental imbalance that you have. But I done told y'all before, y'all know what God that is they worshiping when they do that, right? Y'all remember? Happy. That's an Egyptian deity. They want you to go back to the other side of the flood.
You said that was just a boy for real singing about.
That's what he was swinging by. He was happy.
Might be crazy. What I'm trying to say.
That's why that nigga don't age. You know what I'm talking about? That boy being sustained by sodomy.
It's timeless.
It's timeless. That's why that nigga. Look at. That's why that nigga don't grow no facial hair or nothing. You know what I'm talking about?
time.
That's what we talking about, Brother Langford. That's why I don't listen to that. I don't even want to hear his old music no more. I don't want to listen to no niggas singing about an old, half man, half woman God. Calling you in the question. So I'm talking about that nigga Whitney. Remember he got on Vogue and put the dress on. Y'all don't remember that, do you? That nigga got on Vogue. He said the cover said new masculinity. He had on a nice puffy dress. You know what I'm talking about? Probably hanging with Puffy. You know what go down with that? You know that nigga ask niggas, can he take them shopping? That's what you ask abroad. He take you shopping. You know what's going down after that. He gonna take you to daddy's house, all right. Get you vulnerable. Grown man tell me he gonna take me shopping. He gotta shoot me a fade right then. Nigga come out and look at y'all. Remember that clip how he was looking at Fabulous? Nigga calling that man daddy.
Why you never party with me, daddy?
I'ma swing on it. What Jamaican do?
He tried Jamaican do what
He
happened.
was like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in, y'all. I heard another dude say on his job they told him that you got to call people by whatever pronoun they want to be called by. So if somebody come in there and say I'm a balloon, you got to say that they're a balloon, and if you don't, you fired.
That's how that jump was Amazon right before I left. They definitely just pulled us aside and hit us with that. You know, a lot of knowledge of people, what they identify. I'm good on this.
I know I'm gonna get fired because nigga like he said, my name is Carmisha. I'm gonna be like, hello, nigga. You're a dude.
They're doing that in the prisons up north too. They said whatever they choose to identify, they're gonna put a marker on their card, so you gotta call them by whatever they identify as.
But Langford said that's why he quit Amazon. I ain't identifying you as nothing. I'm gonna be like that nigga on Coming to America. Mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. You know what I'm talking about?
And it was because it was people who was transitioning while they was working, meaning they ID all their original stuff with their stuff, but they had none.
This how you know it's crazy. How do you transition?
You're in the process of getting a surgery.
I'm changing over to a woman now.
They transition, bro.
I know it's expensive. That's how you know the nigga full of crap. How they gonna have the surgery?
Piece by piece. That's why they
Bunch of broke niggas.
Transition, bro.
Well, in the prisons, they pay for it. They pay for it.
Oh, that's Massachusetts. Y'all live in.
Them niggas pay for it to get that transition.
Oh, Massachusetts.
Time and they paying for niggas to get
Yeah, they liberal in Massachusetts. You want to be a punk man? Come on, I got you.
Where my tax dollars go anyway, I'm definitely. I got
What you gonna do? To keep on paying it? That's a liberal state. You must don't know. That's why they didn't vote for Mitt Romney.
That's why them children be mad. They like, man, we pay taxes, bro. We gotta pay for y'all niggas to get
Oh, you seen your man say he going to jail?
Who that?
These nuts? Nah.
Trump.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump said they gonna lock him up on Tuesday. He said they hating on me. He definitely said they hating on me. They gonna lock me up about this whole time that I paid this hoe. He said, yeah, they coming to get me Tuesday. He said he been about told the people riot. Protest.
Yeah, he definitely did.
I don't even tell him. Nigga, if I go to jail, nigga, tear this junk up.
I know what time it is.
Yeah.
Come get me.
I know what to do. Boy, Donald's a gangster, boy. That's the only nigga I know, boy. 3-4 days before you go to jail, boy, you get on the, hey, man, they coming to get me, my nigga. Tear that hoe up, boy, like a real nigga supposed to. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Maga hoe, that's what you tell him in the street, nigga. Let Donald go.
Let Donald go.
Let Donald go.
That's definitely what they're going to do this summer. Let Donald go.
Let Donald go 2023. Come on, man. 5 and 13 told.
You want that Genesis 9:5?
Yeah. Go ahead. Genesis 9:5.
And surely your blood of your lives will I require.
You surely your what?
The blood of your lives will I require.
What else?
At the hand of every beast will I require it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man.
That's right.
Whoso shed man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed.
Or somebody got to require that some blood got to be required. That's why when the people say let his blood be on our children's children, some blood got to be required. And see, this is the thing, you got to understand something, right? What did Pharaoh do? What did Pharaoh do? He killed the firstborn. He shed blood. So guess what? That's why the firstborn of his son, that's why their blood was required. See, it's simple judgment being rendered when it's time. See, this is what people don't understand, right? With the exception of coming out of Babylon, you only have one instance of a slide somewhere. Give me what it is. Jeremiah 16. Man, this is Jeremiah 16. No, it's Jeremiah 3. Give me Jeremiah 3 and 15. Elizabeth.
It said, I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And it shall come to pass when you be multiplied and increase in the land in those days, said Yahuwah, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah. Neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall be done anymore. At that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of Yahuwah, and all the nations shall be gathered unto it, to the name of Yahuwah, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk any more after the imagination of their evil heart. Mm-hmm. In those days will the house of Judah walk with the house of Yasharal, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. Mm-hmm. But I said, how shall I put thee among the children?
I think I missed what I want. But give me Jeremiah 16 and 15. I think that might be it. I think it was in Jeremiah 3, and I just got you in the wrong. Tell me what 16 and 15 say, sir.
But Yahuwah lived that brought up the children of Yasharal.
Go ahead.
Okay, keep going.
Keep going.
And from all the lands where he has driven them, and I'll bring them again.
Back up to 12 then.
You have done worse than your fathers, for behold, you walk everyone after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me.
You did read, but it was something else. Go ahead.
Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that you know not, you nor your fathers, and there shall you serve other gods.
Go ahead.
Day and night, where I will not show you favor.
Not show you favor.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah Elohim.
Well, they will not.
Should be no more said, Yahuwah lived that brought up the children of Yasharal
out of the land of where?
Egypt.
Out of the land of where?
Egypt.
The only reason I came for that because Egypt is the only land where Yahuwah himself brought you out of that. You know what I'm talking about? Yahuwah himself didn't bring you out of Babylon. Yahuwah himself didn't bring you out of the... Matter of fact, give me 2 Kings 13 and 5. 2 Kings 13 and 5. I didn't want y'all to hear it real quick. You still got Job. I want you to read that verse in Jeremiah one more time after you read this. 2 Kings 13 and 5. Listen to it. Make it 3. 2 Kings 13 and 3.
And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Yasharab, and he delivered them into the hand of Hazael, king of Syria, and into the hand of Benadad, the son of Hazael, all the days. And Jehoaz besought Yahuwah, and Yahuwah hearkened unto him, for he saw the oppression of Yasharab, because the king of Syria oppressed them. And Yahuwah gave Yasharal a savior.
Gave him what?
A savior.
Gave him what?
A savior.
Give me Nehemiah 9 and 24. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So that they went out from under the hand of the Syrians. And the children of Yasharal dwelt in the tents as before time.
Pause. Now, I'm doing it for a reason. Because what were judges akin to? Saviors. Deliverers. Yahuwah, there was no savior and deliverer coming up out of Egypt. That was all Yahuwah. It was worked through Moses, but that was all Yahuwah. That was all him. Every plague, all that. You know what I'm talking about? That ain't never happened. That's why on the back end, it's going to be like that again. That's why the plague is going to be like that again. That's why the judgment going to be like that again. That's why you say, read again, say Jeremiah 16 and 15. Listen to it.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that it shall no more be said, Yahuwah lived that brought up the children of Yasharal out of the land of Egypt. But Yahuwah lived that brought up the children of Yasharal from the land of the north.
And the lands.
Where he had driven them. And I will bring them again into the land that I gave unto their fathers. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahuwah.
That's good. So he said, you're not no longer going to say, Yahuwah lived, which brought you. Because right now, that's what people say. Even with Hamashiach being our Passover, as Paul wrote in Corinthians, when people talk about Passover, the average person mind goes to the deliverance from Egypt. He is still referred to the God that delivered the Israelites out of Egypt. He's not referred to the God that delivered the Israelites out of Assyria, out of Babylon, but Egypt. So when you see him say the city that is spiritually Sodom in Egypt, When you see all that going down and you see these seals, you see these vials, you see these plagues, when these plagues, you see these trumpets, it's because what he did at the beginning, he gonna do it at the end. And he gonna do something to these people. You know what I'm talking about? He gonna do something to these people. Go ahead, man. Nehemiah 9:24. Tell me what it says.
It says, so the children went in and possessed the land, and you subdued before them the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, and gave them unto their hands and their kings.
You done knocked the plug out.
The kings and the people of the land, that they might do to them as they would. And they took strong cities and fat land and possessed houses full of all goods, wells digged, vineyards, olive yards, and fruit trees in abundance. So they did eat and were filled and became fat and delighted themselves in thy great goodness.
Hold on, man. This thing ain't plugged up, man. Hey, check that out.
Says you got check that other plug or connected.
That's good.
Okay. 25. It said they took strong cities and fat land and possessed houses full of goods, wells digged, vineyards, olive yards, and fruit trees in abundance. Mm-hmm. So they did eat and were filled and became fat and delighted themselves in your great goodness. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, they were disobedient and rebelled against thee, and cast thy law behind their backs, slew thy prophets which testified against them to turn to you. And they wrought great provocations. Mm-hmm. Therefore you delivered them into the hands of their enemies who vexed them. Mm-hmm. In the time of their trouble, when they cried unto me, you hearted from Shamahim, and according to thy manifold mercies,
you gave them what?
Saviors.
Gave them what?
Saviors.
Who did what?
Who saved them out of the hands of their enemies.
So this is the thing. When you got delivered up out of Egypt, boy, Elohim delivered you up out of there. You know what I'm talking about? And that's how you coming up out of this one here. Because Elohim coming from Shamahim to get you up out of here. You're not saving yourself. I don't care what you think. I don't care how tough you think you is. Well, you're not finna defeat no man with no whole army and power and Satan behind him. You one little dude because you feel like the nation. You finna die and go to the grave, you big dummy. You know what I'm talking about? That's not your battle to fight. Because what they say the beast was gonna be taken down without what? Ain't nobody gonna put no hand on it. So you have to look at some people. Some enemies don't belong to you. What it was in Django, remember in Django, but he said he wanted that project himself. Wasn't nobody else gonna put his hands on it. I seen what you did to my old lady. I'm gonna kill you myself. And you know what I'm saying? And see that some people look at that nigga play the Uncle Tom. What his name is. Samuel L. Jackson character would be. And this is just me saying that, not that you could watch this movie and read all that into it, but his character is the same as somebody who want to hold on to this particular world and political system, who is an ardent servant of the beast. I'm in covenant with the devil. You can't kill the devil. You can't take the devil down. What have you done? Crying. Ain't that what it said? What happened when Babylon went down? What they said they was out there doing? Weeping because they benefited from it. It was good to us. We made a lot of money with him. How you gonna come in here and kill him? Because of course, with the movie, now that this is dead serious though, you could tell that Django character was along the lines of the savior complex that they put in the majority of films. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's what he was. A savior character who had to be belittled and humbled. You know what I'm talking about? To come through and deliver everybody, and at the end, take his wife. That's the story they told. See, we'll sit back and look at the slave narrative aspect of it, but the story is the story. His master had the power, but I ain't gonna lie. He really just wanted the boot. He put his whole life on the line for the boot. You know what I'm talking about? But that was his wife, and he loved his wife. So, hey, man, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when you were saying that was the double.
Yeah, that was his wife.
Word-wise, you know,
I got to deliver. I got to set free the captive. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? So I understand. It's not like he was wrong. That doesn't mean he loved his wife. Because if he didn't love his wife, he'd have left her. He risked his life for his wife. And this is the part where I be telling brothers, you got to get up out of that. Stop worrying about if your old lady would do the same thing for you. Why would you expect her to? How we know that? He said, for a righteous man, one wouldn't dare to die. Because you wouldn't have died for the Lord if the situation was reversed. Hell, you supposed to be dying for him now because he died for you and niggas won't do it. Come on, man. We doggone crazy. Come on back to Job 5, man. Give me verse 13.
It said, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet in darkness in the daytime and grope in noonday as it is night.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what they were doing when that sun went down. He was on that tree groping. I can't see. Where they at? Come on.
But they say to pour from the sword.
He said to pour from the what?
From the sword.
And from their mouth.
And from the hand of the mighty.
Mm-hmm.
So the poor have hope.
Poor have what?
Poor have hope.
He got what?
Hope.
That's right.
And iniquity stop her mouth.
So because he delivered this poor man from the sword, sin is done. That's why he say, while he died under sin, sin live no more. Come on.
Behold, happy is the man whom Elohim corrected.
Blessed is the man Elohim correct. Therefore,
despise not the chastening of the Almighty.
Remember, he says, many as I love, I chasten and rebuke. He said, blessed are those whom you chasten out of your law. See, that goes back to what we were talking about the martyrs up under that altar. They were chastened. See, they were willing to suffer. See, give me Psalms 94 and 12. One of y'all do it. Hey, man, sit still with all that movement. That's how you knock it out the first time.
He's standing up for it. Because I've asked you 3 times. You can go sit somewhere else.
Psalms 94 and 12.
Bless the man whom you chasten.
Blessed is the man whom you what?
Whom you chasten.
Out of your what?
Out of your law.
What else?
That you may give him rest from the days of adversity.
Give him rest from what?
The days of adversity.
The days from trouble, vexation.
Go ahead. Until the pit be dig for the wicked.
Till the pit be dig for who?
The wicked.
Now, let's see, that we talked about this verse not too long ago, but now we're talking about it again. So look at it, right? If he's chastened out of his law, that means all the instructions in the law is what he used to bring. We could just look at him being chastened out of law out of Deuteronomy 28, verses 15 through 68 by themselves and not look at anything else. And he was chastened out of the law. And he was chastened out of that until he could get rest from his trouble. So all of us, that's why the text tell you that through much tribulation, we got to enter into the kingdom. This is why he must accomplish to scatter the power of the Kadash people, because you're going to have to be chastened. See, we don't want the chastening because niggas don't really believe the word. So the minute the chastening come, you're going to despise it. You know, it said in Deuteronomy 8, Proverbs 3, you know, the writer of Hebrews write the same. And then right here in Job, it say the same thing, right? You're blessed if he corrects you. Didn't in Job and in Deuteronomy and in Proverbs, didn't he tell you to not despise that chastening? Don't Proverbs 23 and 23 tell you to acquire chastening? Get it for him, man. 23 and 23. Proverbs, by the way.
By the truth, sell not.
By the what?
By the truth, sell not.
What else?
Wisdom and instruction and understanding.
See, when you see instruction, that's not instruction. Tell them what it is, man. That's Musa.
Sorry, that's discipline, chastening, correction.
Chastening and correction. He tell you to acquire that. How y'all eat all your cookies with no milk?
I don't do this all the time, but
We don't do something, man, because that's not right.
I'm very firm on
yeah,
As you should. It's the only way. That's disrespect to that cookie. You can't enjoy that cookie. That cookie dry.
You jump to this.
You enjoy that cookie? Because your mama ain't. I think she just doing it because you doing it.
She's suffering.
You would have been suffering solo. Nigga, let them ruin some Oreo cookies. You should let. How you supposed to brought some milk with you? If you're gonna travel with Oreo cookies, you gotta travel with milk. But what about this time?
Yeah.
He like, nigga, I don't give a damn about all this.
Just want some Oreos.
You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. What's up, cuz?
You want me to keep going, or are you done with this?
Read it one more time.
Buy the truth and sell not wisdom and instruction and understanding. The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice.
So he told you need to acquire chastening. Tell them what buy is, because it don't mean buy like go to the store and buy it, but then you can look at that, you need to go to them that sell. Ain't that what the virgins said? See, if you going to buy that oil like the virgins were telling them to go buy in Matthew 25, well, you're going to have to go buy some discipline. You're going to have to go buy some chastening. What buy is, man? Tell them the word.
That's kana, to get, acquire, to create, to buy, to possess.
You need to go acquire that. You need to acquire some chastening. He said, because what son is one whom the father chastened not? Come on, man. Come on back. Job 5:17, man. One more time.
It says, behold, happy is the man whom Elohim correcteth, therefore despise not the chastening of the Almighty.
Tell them what the word for correct is right there. Let's see what word they use.
Yakah. That is to prove, to judge, to rebuke, to rebuke.
To rebuke. Paul, give me 2 Timothy 3:14.
To justify.
So look here, right? To justify. So whoever Elohim correct, he gonna make righteous.
That's right.
That's why he says, as many as I love, I chasten and rebuke. Therefore, be zealous and repent. We don't be wanting to do it. Come on, man.
But continue you in the things.
This is 2 Timothy 3:14.
But continue you in the things which you have learned and have been assured of, knowing of whom you have learned.
Whom you learned it.
And that from a child you have known the Kadash scriptures.
You don't know that Kadash book.
Which are able to make you wise unto salvation.
Through faith.
Through faith, which is in Hamashiach. Yahushua HaMashiach.
Go ahead.
All scripture is given by inspiration. All scripture is given by inspiration of Elohim.
Paul, give me Job 34:20. What are they doing to that baby? It was you who did it. You always blaming that baby. That baby ain't did nothing. He's just a baby. That wasn't a long clock. I mean, that boy get up with noise.
Yea, surely Elohim will not do wickedly,
That's
neither will the Almighty pervert judgment.
That's fine, but that ain't what I wanted. But keep reading it, work.
Who have given him a charge over the earth, or have disposed the whole world? If he set his heart upon man, he gather unto himself his ruach and his breath.
Mm-hmm.
All flesh shall perish together, and man shall turn again unto dust.
That's good. That ain't what I wanted. But it's all good. What I had in my mind is all understanding come from inspiration of the Almighty. You understand? And they say all scripture is inspired by the Almighty, and no scripture or prophecy is of any private interpretation. Go ahead.
All scripture is given by inspiration of Elohim and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
Profitable for what? Reproof and correction. And what else?
For instruction in righteousness.
So it's still for what? Correction to get you justified. Continue.
That the man of Elohim may be perfect.
May be what?
May be perfect.
So that's why you got to take the chasten. That's why the book say you blessed if you chasten, because that's what's gonna make you perfect. That's the purpose of it. That's why the plagues dropping. Come on, man. I got the Job 5. I'm back on here, man. 5:17. Behold, Baruch is the man whom Elohim correct, therefore despise you not the chastening of the Almighty. For he makes sore and bind up. He wound and his hands make whole. He deliver you in 6 troubles, yea, and 7 there shall no evil touch you, which you know goes with the just man falling 7 times and rising again. But this is what we came here for. In famine, he shall redeem you from death, and in war from the power of the sword. You shall be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shall you be afraid of destruction when it come. At destruction and famine you shall laugh, neither shall you be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So I want you to tell me what righteous men were able to endure and to be redeemed in famine. Oh, no.
No, I'm talking about Jacob.
Literal famine. Oh, you talking about literal famine. Eli died. He broke his neck. Definitely Abraham. You ain't say that like you meant that. You said that like you just woke up.
You know.
You know. Say what? What family he was in? You telling me?
you made it. I
Abraham was in famine.
Joseph
was in famine. Jacob was in famine. I don't know how y'all ain't mentioned Elijah was in famine. Let's take a look at Elijah's own first. What that it was? 2 Kings, 16? Or 1 Kings 16? One of them. No, come on, 1 Kings 18. I think Isaac was in famine. My John gone. My 18 gone. Just tell me what 18 and 1 say. My 1 Kings 18 gone.
And it came to pass after many days that the word of Yahuwah came to Elijah, saying in the 3rd year, go show yourself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. And Elijah went to show himself unto Ahab on a sore famine in Samaria.
A sore what?
Famine. And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of the house. Now Obadiah feared Yahuwah greatly.
Mm-hmm.
For it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of Yahuwah that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave.
Hid them by 50.
And fed them with bread and water.
Bread and water.
And Ahab said unto Obadiah,
what is it?
Go into the land unto all fountains of water, and unto all brooks. Peradventure we may find grass to save the horses and mules alive.
Horses and mules.
That we lose not all the beasts. So they divided the land between them to pass throughout it. Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. And as Obadiah was in the way, behold, Elijah met him. And he knew him and fell on his face and said,
see, we need to get to when he was at the lady house. That might be chapter 17, like I said, when he was at the lady house. That's right, Brother Reynolds. Da-da! This nigga is one of those doggone Ronald Isaac. What it is, chapter 17? What verse it is? Because my page gone. Tell me what about verse 20 say. 1 Kings 17 and 20.
And he cried unto Yahuwah and said, O Yahuwah my Elohim, have you also brought evil upon the widow with whom I sojourn?
Okay, we'll back it up to 14.
But thus saith Yahuwah Elohim and Yasharal, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the curse of oil fail until the day that Yahuwah send rain upon the earth.
Okay, back it up to about 10 then.
So he arose and went to Zarephath, and when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman there gathering of sticks. And he called to her and said, fetch me, I pray you, a little water in a vessel that I may drink.
Mm-hmm.
And as she was going to fetch, he called to her and said, bring me, I pray you, a morsel of bread in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, Yahuwah your Elohim live, I have not cake, but a handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks that I may go and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die.
And die.
And Elijah said unto her, fear not, go do as you have said, but make me thereof a little cake first, and bring unto me, and after make for you and for your son. But thus saith Yahuwah Elohim and Yasharal, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail, until the day that Yahuwah send rain upon the earth. And she went and did according to the saying of Elijah, and she and he and her house did eat many days. The barrel of meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of Yahuwah, which he spake by Elijah.
Look here, right? Notice what he said, right? He said, what didn't fail?
Cruse of oil.
And what else?
The barrel of meal not wasted.
A barrel of meal not wasted. Tell them what meal is.
Kamak, flour, meal flour.
Flour, meal flour. What you make unleavened bread out of? Now, I want you to come over here to get me Amos, sir. What it is, Amos 8 and 8, but I'm going to read y'all something to Luke chapter 4 real quick, like, about verse 23. What's up, little Bible study? You could have been came and hung out with me because you wasn't in no trouble. They were just trying to tell you, come hang out with me. Now you want to play. Why your hands moist? You wash your hands?
Yes.
Your hand feels soft and soft. Like a leg.
Wow. You've been captured. I thought you were Spider-Man. Spider-Man really got captured like this. You ain't even got no webs out.
Can't even stick to the wall.
I think he can.
Spider-Man can't stick to the wall.
Spider-Man can't do nothing. Spider-Man is a beta male sent mangina.
And I bet Hulk is stronger than Spider-Man.
Hulk got anger problems. He like to walk around with freeze on.
Only his woman can calm him down.
Yeah, only his woman could calm him down. See, Peter Parker, he been simping for Mary Jane.
Maybe it's other Mary Jane you really want.
No, he too much of a square, so he don't want that Mary Jane. See, Mary Jane probably like Jenny. She strike me as a Jenny
She
type.
definitely is a Jenny character.
Jenny.
Only called by the name.
I'm just messing with you, Michael. Don't pay that no attention. Luke 4 and 23. And he said unto them, you shall surely say unto me this proverb, physician, heal yourself. Whatsoever we have heard in Capernaum, do also here in your country. He said, truly I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. But I tell you of a truth, many widows were in Yasharal in the days of Elijah, when Shamahim was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when great famine was throughout the land. But unto none of them was Elijah sent, save unto Sarepta of Zidon, unto a woman, a widow. You know what I'm talking about? Because see, at the end of the day, he said, I could have sent Elijah, because that means that woman got sustained. Because it said that the meal did not fail, nor the cruse of oil. So what did that mean? Don't hurt the oil or the wine. It wasn't going to be no ruach met with. It wasn't going to be no word met with. It was going to overflow wherever he was in that place. But the rest of the people, they were going to starve. Amen.
Shall not the land tremble for this, and everyone mourn that dwell therein?
Mm-hmm.
And it shall rise up wholly as a flood,
That's right.
and it shall be cast out and drowned as the flood of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass in that day, say Yahuwah Elohim,
What they going to say?
that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day.
That's right.
And it will turn your feast into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head.
That's right.
And I will make it as the morning of an only son,
Mm-hmm.
and the end thereof as a bitter day.
Bitter day.
Behold, the days come, say
That's what
Yahuwah
we read too
Elohim.
much. This is what we need. Behold, the days come.
Behold, the days come, say Yahuwah Elohim, that I will send a famine in the land.
Send a what?
A famine in the
Send
land.
it. Tell them what famine is. Grandma. Your head bigger than you.
Ra'ab, that is famine or hunger. The famine of Yahuwah's word.
Famine of Yahuwah's word. What he said, what was the first part you said?
It's famine or hunger.
Hunger. But what, notice right? What did Yahushua say? Blessed are those that what? Hunger, they shall be filled. See, it's a lot of people, they're going to be hungering for the word, but since they don't want to be filled with it, they're not going to find it. See, a lot of those famines were also, they were literal famines, obviously, but then also symbolic of the fact that there was a lack of the word. So because there was a lack of the word, the people starved. Give me John 6 and 33. Hey, man, you knock that plug out, and I'm going to knock your plug out. Lights out, nigga.
That's how they used to talk to you.
Hell no. Those people don't say nothing to you. Nigga, them guys just cut the lights off. You know what time the lights go off.
You ain't gotta say nothing.
You ain't gotta say nothing. Y'all niggas know bedtime, niggas get into bed. Grown men. You know what I'm talking about? Now, it was one nigga talking about 5 minutes to use the potty. I this nigga is crazy. But they say that over the speaker, man. The people not walking in the midst of you niggas, man. I told you, boy, that one dorm I was in, boy, I'm telling you, boy, them lights go off, them boy get on them psych meds, and you know what I'm saying? Abominations commence.
God.
Abominations commence. And niggas like, boy, I'm on that furrow, boy. I'm like, nigga, you wildin', bro. Them niggas will crush them psych meds up and go to snorting them hoes, boy. And them niggas running all night chasing booty. You know what I'm talking about?
I thought this was door for it.
And nigga ain't no cell. In a dormitory, 72 grown men. How you think I told you? That's how I seen the nigga damage in the white boy. Because it's just a row of toilets. You know what I'm saying? With a concrete wall. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, niggas like, you ain't supposed to be smoking in the dorm anyway, but they know late night niggas going in the back. You know what I'm saying? Smoking a cigarette. Unless you a bold nigga, smoke on your bunk. But then they gonna smell the smoke. That's gonna bring problems. You know what I'm talking about? So you go in the bathroom and go smoke. So you think you finna act like you taking a dump, but you're really trying to, you know what I'm saying, smoke your rip. And this nigga back here smoking a rip. No, he was ripping. That white boy looked like he was so traumatized. He was like, I need help. There's nothing I can do for you, son. These are the choices that you have made.
Lord can't help you. I can't either. No.
All jokes aside, man, you know, sometimes people be looking stupid, and then you just have to realize and look at them that these are the choices you made for your life, son. Suffer them. And I ain't talking about because the nigga is clearly abusing you physically in a fashion that no man should be abused in. I'm talking about the decisions that you made to get you to prison.
This is your content.
This is your punishment. Because the choices and because you didn't value your freedom and you didn't understand where you were about to go. Now there is a 5'9", 345-pound black man savaging your anus. And all you can do is look at other men, help me. Shoot, nigga, this ain't none of my business. I ain't seen nothing. I ain't heard nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Because the last thing you want to do in that environment is get between a man and his man. Hey, I'm just telling you what real now. I ain't doing nothing. That's how you get stabbed. Let me tell you something, man. And I'll move on. I'm being dead serious. I ain't being funny, nothing. Before I went up that road, old head pulled me to the side. I told y'all this before, man. Old head pulled me to the side. He said, look here, young nigga. My homeboy before that, he was like, nigga, when you get in there, nigga, get the mop ringer, find the biggest nigga in there, and bash that nigga with it, and let them niggas know you ain't playing no games, nigga. I say, bro, man, you know what I'm saying, big homie, like, it's not the 80s no more, bro. We ain't got to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? But he would just tell me, period, like, hey, man, go knock one of them niggas out first quarter. You know what I'm talking about? Like, man, let them niggas be know I'm not to be played with. But another old head was like, look at young nigga. He said, this is what you need to do. Don't gamble. Stay off that basketball court and have no interactions with no sisters. I said, nigga, I don't mess with sisters anyway. He said, no, nigga, you're not understanding what I'm telling you. He said, don't even speak to him. Don't even do nothing with him because a nigga think you pressing up on his dude and he'll stab you about that dude. But is it any different than what you see in the street, what some dudes will do about their old lady? That's the mentality that these men have towards this man. See, you see how you shake your head? Oh, man, that's the mind of sin. That's what sin do to your mind.
Homeboy that said when he was up the road, if these niggas playing in the basketball court, it's playing like regular, shooting around. When the niggas come around that like just look like girls.
Straight up, bro.
Straight up.
Now you want to start balling like niggas do at the park on the street. Oh, they go to hoes, boy. Now you trying to show all your hoes. These hoes. Telling you, man. That's the reality of the environment. You don't understand how sick and depraved men's minds can be until you go into a correctional facility. And not just on no sodomy type tip. Like, niggas' minds is just depraved. You know what I'm saying? Just depraved. Like, these men are in another arena. I told you I was at a facility. This nigga woke up and stabbed his roommate like 15 times. Dude ain't even do nothing. He just woke up and decided, I'm going to stab this nigga today. He got a life sentence. He don't care. He ain't going home. So when you got younger people that you know, man, that's why you better try to talk to them, because, boy, a lot of these boys, man, they ain't going to make it up that road, boy. And our prisons is kind of light compared to other states. Because you got other states, boy, dudes getting raped. You know what I'm talking about? See, in the state of Florida, these boys willing participants. Ain't nobody taking nothing. These boys giving it up. See, I was appalled. Because when I got to go correctional facility, I seen a nigga from Jacksonville that I knew, and this nigga had less time than me. I had 5. This nigga had like a year and some change, and he was chasing men on the yard. I say, bro, what is you doing? Nigga, you are no longer my friend. Nigga, I do not know you. Stay away from me, my nigga. How the hell you come up here, bro? You ain't got no time. I'm looking at a dude with a life sentence. He don't want a boy. You going home before the end of the calendar year, and you trying to get all the butt you can stand. I said, oh, hell no. I said, I got to get the help from I got to get out of here. I got to go home. You know what I'm talking about? This ain't the place for me. I knew it wasn't the place for me before I got there. You know what I'm saying? But when you sit back and you look at it, right, and just from what you would say, what you call that, John? Allegorical point of view or a metaphor, that type of deal. When you sit back and you look at the penitentiary, man, and you look at, that's what it's literally like to be captive and held bondage to sin. Because a lot of dudes in prison feel like I have to behave a certain way because I'm in this environment. I'm not talking about on the side of me tip. I'm talking about just on the tip of being a degenerate. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only a handful of people that be like, I'm going to carry myself with some level of comportment, and I'm just finna go home. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna mess with these COs. I'm not finna mess with these people. I'm gonna do my time and I'm gonna go home. I'm not gonna get caught up in none of the foolishness that's going on around me. And just like the book say, those who make themselves a prey from departing from evil, depending on where you incarcerated at, you'll make yourself an open prey in that environment because you desire to not participate in no manner of tomfoolery. Like straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? And that's just depending on where you at. Because you got some places you're going to have to fight every minute, every moment of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's some penitentiaries you got to walk with your knife on you. When I was at Gold, man, these niggas was robbing niggas. You understand me? Nigga come from that commissary window. It was a blind spot between that doggone camera, and them boys would be right there with that knife. Nigga, run it. Can you imagine getting robbed at knife point for some doggone soups and cookies and cakes? And a nigga ready to stab you for it. Nigga ready to stab you for some cookies. You know why he ready to stab you for it? Because ain't nobody giving him nothing. His people don't give a damn about him. They ain't sending him nothing. Y'all out here eating this stuff in my face. He just called home and Jody over there. Bro, you stepping on the cord, bro.
The beat in the camera. Have a seat, son. Thank you.
Don't be making your face look ugly. It ain't about what you want. You ain't even got no. Come here so I can give you a reading to cry in. Fix your face, boy. You looking like the bitter bear face man. Fix it. You ain't got nothing to be crying for. You interfering with what I got going on, and you crying. You ain't no victim. Well, go on in the back there. Nobody want to hear a look at that. You want to cry? Go cry. Hey, boy, I meant what I said. Get up and go cry. Go cry over there. You cry all you want. Just don't cry over here. Oh, shit, I don't care nothing about them crying. Shoot, just don't cry over here. That's your business. Let it out. I mean, shoot, I ain't gonna tell you stop crying. Just don't cry around me. You know what I'm talking about? Let it out. Just let it out way over there. You know what I'm talking about? But for real though, bro. Like you have to really, because don't it refer he set the captives free? Whosoever commits sin is deserving of sin. You in bondage to it. Man, I'm telling you, man. You got people, they get in bondage to a criminal lifestyle and get institutionalized. Man, I told you, man, before I came home, dudes was like, oh, you still gonna get up at 6 o'clock? I said, no, the hell I ain't. Nigga, I never adapted to this environment. I never got comfortable with this environment. Nigga, I was passing through. That's why I always be pressing what that book say about we strangers and pilgrims on the earth. I'm just passing. Well, I never got accustomed to being in prison, yo. Not nowadays. I never got to be like, oh, I'm in this routine. Nigga, I'm just here. My EOS date is November 30th, 2009. That's the longest you can hold me for. I don't give a damn about it say March 1st, 09, because I know November 30th, 2009, unless I catch another case, well, you got to let me go. And I used to tell them CEOs that all the time. I smoke my weed, don't give a damn. You can't do nothing but send me to the box. I'm still going home November 30th, 2009. He told me 60 months, not 51, not 52, not 54, but 60. I'll do the whole 60. Yes. In the center. Oh,
Exodus 60.
yeah, man. I'm good on that. I done told you before, ain't no EOS date out of hell. I can tell you that. Ain't no end of that sentence. You staying there. That's forever. See, right now you under the penalty. See, he gave you an EOS date though. He gave you that blood. You can go and get out. You could be free. What you do? Man, you just randomly looking these up.
I wonder how they doing.
Oh no, that's you know that's the sad part of all the things you ain't heard from the nigga. The first thing you take, that nigga probably in jail. Let me look him up. No, it's different if somebody told you they was in jail, but you ain't seen somebody. Why the first thing you want to think about is they in jail? Man, you know that time when we used to be on the street, niggas be like, "Damn, boy, I thought you were locked up, boy. Why you thought that? I ain't seen you in a while." So damn, you just want to? No, I'm talking this real conversation nigga done had. Nigga ain't seen a nigga in a while. Well, I thought you were locked up, boy. I'm like, God damn, nigga, you want to put that on me?
Nigga for half a year.
Man, nigga ain't seen me a half a year. I've been on another side of town. Man, don't you know, Jack? Man, don't you know these niggas I went to high school with that I ain't seen since we graduated? And they been here the whole time. But my dog that just passed away, boy, I ain't seen that man since 1998.
Man, you getting nosy.
That's what I'm saying. I need to only time I'm gonna look somebody up, man, is if I know they jammed up and see what they bond is and how to send them some money. Like I just saw my dog some money, man. He had already told me he was going to jail. You know what I'm saying? He had an injunction on him, so he knew they were coming to get him. Well, they wasn't supposed to come to get him. They let him out and turned back around and came and got him. You know what I'm saying? So it was to see when he was going to court. Because the chick who called me like, yeah, man, bro, say he needs some bread. I ain't know her. So I'm like, I don't even know if you know this person. Nigga, I'll go take my nigga the money my damn self. I know he get it then. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. Yeah, I done been in there before. So shoot. Hey, I'm already knowing. But see, they done changed it. We were just talking about that the other day. They done changed it in DOC. You can't extort nobody no more. They changed the system how you get money in there. You can't extort nobody no more.
Nah, but look, my dog, when I call, we got a password. Because if the nigga got the same cell, they'll try to be like, hey, Snoop said send him such and such. Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, what's the password? Nigga gonna respond. No, sir.
Yeah, that's
how they playing them games. That's how they playing them games.
I'm already knowing.
They sharing them phones. They hitting up everybody contact. Hey, he said send me something.
But see, now that's different before. Like niggas be like, hey, to your people. Cause see, in DOC, they got a card. Niggas will have to send the deposit slips home. You fill them out, send them to Tallahassee. You know what I'm saying? That's how the money get in. Cause see, my homeboy used to send me money order straight to the prison. He thought it was like the county. They coming to me, you got all this money up here. But I was at Tallahassee Road Prison, so they sent the money in there for me. That nigga definitely something. You like damn near a band of that hole. Them niggas were going crazy. COs was like, boy, people, you must have been a good nigga out there. Somebody love you. I was like, shoot, man, that's my homeboy nigga. Shoot, he getting money. Look at that. You know, some niggas don't get nothing. That's why the book say the way of transgressors and hard. You ever been but you ever met a nigga who was in prison? That nigga ain't had nothing, not a visit, not a call, not a dollar.
Why is it countless?
Why is your countenance falling? Because you was a piece of garbage. But the moral of the story is stay out of sin and stay your black behind out of jail. You know what I'm talking about? That's the moral of the story. Stay out of bondage. Because when you get in bondage, you hate life. Let me tell you something, man. You know the worst thing ever when you're in jail or in prison? When you have a dream that you're free and you wake up and you still in that hole. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? When you wake up, you be like, damn, that ugly nigga looking at me. I thought I was home. You wasn't home.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
You still got 4 years left.
After 2 years?
Oh, after 2 years, you don't have them dreams no more, man. You locked in. You ain't going nowhere. You know where you at. You know what I'm talking about? You know damn well where you at. You ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? All you just sitting back and looking at the days go by and be like, I ain't gonna lie, boy. Time go by quick in that hole. Real quick. You know what I'm talking about? Only reason why time don't go by fast for people because they worrying about what that woman doing. You better treat it like a nigga in an armed conflict. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, she gonna do what she gonna do. Cause I'm be honest with you, man. If she don't come through and come see you on a regular basis and put money on your books, she don't fool with you anyway. I don't give a damn where you at, boy. She love you, boy. She gonna hit that highway. She coming to see you. Is she really fool with you? Now, of course, none of y'all have ever experienced that. But if you want to know if a woman really fool with you, all you gotta do is go to jail. You'll find out real quick. You know what I'm talking about? If she ain't trying to bond you out, if she ain't trying to see you no bread, if she ain't trying to come see you, she don't fool with you. I don't give a damn what you went to jail for. You see what Steve Harvey's wife did? As soon as that nigga went to jail, she got with his cousin.
Yeah, Steve Harvey went to jail?
No.
What?
He the cousin.
He ain't the cousin.
Yeah, she got with the cousin.
No, she's a dope girl, man.
Hey, man, go ahead.
No, I'm dead serious, bro. Yeah, she's a dope chick. She's a dope boy, old lady, man. Big time. Sack, cocaine old. Yeah, her husband had that word. He went to jail. She got with the cousin. He went to jail. Here goes Steve. I've been wanting you since I was 10. Well, I guess you can get me now. She literally told Steve, you can't be with me till you get your money up, nigga. So he went and got his money up. That nigga stupid, man. That's why any man listen to Steve Harvey about a woman, you might as well just go on around that man on Jesse Street. Look for somebody. Copy a 50. Get high. Come on, man.
Damn, Steve.
John 6:33. That's reality of life. Now he says it's a famine. Read that Amos one more time. Amos what? 8 and 11. Amos 8 and 11. He gonna reread that one. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Amos 8 and 11.
Behold, the day is come, say Yahuwah Elohim, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, not a thirst for water, but a hearing of the words of Yahuwah.
A hearing of the word of Yahuwah.
And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east.
And what's gonna happen?
They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahuwah.
And they won't what?
Shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst.
Faint for what?
Thirst.
Ain't no ruach for them. Go ahead. That's good. Come on, John 6:33. Come here, Jeremiah James Bird. You good now? You got yourself together? You sure? Fix your face with all that capital line you doing. I want to laugh.
For the bread of Elohim is he which cometh down from Shamahim and giveth life unto the world.
Sit down.
Then said they unto him, Master, evermore give us this bread.
Give us this bread.
And Yahushua said unto them, I am the bread of life.
He
that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst.
He that believeth on me shall never what?
Hunger.
And he that believeth on me never what?
Thirst.
So this is the key thing, right? This is why we see there be a famine in the land, the time of the beast, because you will not be able to openly testify of Mashiach. So therefore, a lot of individuals won't get no word. What did we just read in Revelation 6 about them doggone sealed, that fifth seal? He said they were killed for the witness and the testimony which they held. The word of Elohim and the testimony. Give me Revelation 12. 12 and 9.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Hashatan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his Malachim were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in Shamahim, now has come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our Elohim, and the power of Hamashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Elohim day and night.
Listen to him.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
They overcame him by what?
The blood of the Lamb.
And the word
of their testimony.
Which they
loved not their lives unto the death.
Unto the what?
Unto the death.
Unto the what?
Unto the death.
They were killed for what now?
The testimony.
See, that's the part of the game that nobody want to tell you about. Say this, he said, how you know if you really love, go to jail. Hey, shoot, at the end of the day, if you, because it's serious though. Because if you want to see how much somebody care about you, they need to get in an adverse situation and circumstance, and you'll find out. But get what? You see how much the people love Peter when Peter went to jail. Them people went and prayed for Peter every day, continuously, in unison. Get Revelation 2 and 10 since we talking about jail. No, I just say that because, hey, because you talking about people who in a criminal lifestyle, If you a woman and you with a dude who's in a criminal lifestyle and he go to jail and you bail out, you's a horrible woman. You know what I'm saying? You less than trash. You ought to be spit upon and stepped upon with doo-doo stained shoes. Because you knew what you were signing up for, you should have just gone ahead and rolled that out. Now, if you didn't know the man was a criminal, now I ain't telling you to ride out with nobody who on some old, for sure. She said, I've been there and did that. I know that's right. Now, it's different now. If a nigga doesn't know, she talking about riding with somebody who's been in jail. Now, if he go to jail for pedophilia, let that nigga die. Matter of fact, go through the whole, stand in front of the jail with a sign and say, this nigga touched little children. So everybody can know. Abuse him. Make his life. Look here, man. If you go to jail for any type of sexual assault, you deserve to be punished every day of your sentence, outside of you being in there. Nigga, you are a murderer as far as who is concerned. May you be sodomized daily with blunt objects. Especially if you touch small children. I told you, it's a nigga in the word. Joshua, son of Abraham. That's what he called himself. Old punk bastard. He was notorious for placing his bare penis in women's inboxes. But he had the nerve, the lust, the depravity, the degeneracy to marry a woman and sexually assault her small child for years. Then when niggas came to see him to do something to him, this nigga jumped out a window and broke his legs. Dead serious. I'm not making this up.
I remember.
I'm not making none of this up. This dude really did this here, man. He was notoriously known from going to congregation, sleeping with other men's wives, which means 9 times out of 10, he probably was sexually assaulted other people's children, and it probably never came to light. I done told you, he the reason why I got the inspiration for the just man falling 7 times, because the stinking bastard posted his penis in a woman's inbox and tried to use that passage to justify itself. And when I seen it, my blood boiled, and that word came to me right then and there on the spot. I was sitting in the car. I said, look at this nasty nigga right here, and trying to use the word to justify it. You ain't fail if your penis just keep falling in people's inboxes. He's in the Michigan correctional system doing a long stretch. I want to say he caught 30 to 45 years for his crimes, as he should have, because he jumped out the window, tried to act like he was just that there in the third. Then the little girl finally summoned the courage to mention what this man did to her. He tried to be on the run, and they caught that wicked bastard, and he in prison right now as we speak. And I hope somebody sodomized him every day. I hope he gets to feel the pain that little girl gonna have to feel for the rest of her life while another grown man is plowing in his wreck. And I mean that with every ounce of my soul. I ain't saying that to be funny or be humorous. But that little girl gonna have to live with that for the rest of her days. That's a little past what you understand. You know what I'm talking about? Dead serious though, man. And when I say little girl, this little girl was under 10. She was under 10 when he was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Abusing this little girl day in and day out for years. And the thing was, a lot of brews, maybe not on the little kid part, a lot of brews knew this man was a sexual degenerate, and niggas ain't really call him out for it. He know. Niggas ain't call that nasty nigga out for what he was doing. Absolutely, that's life ruining stuff, man. That damaged somebody for life, boy or girl. Don't matter who it is. Don't sexually abuse no child. I hope that nigga gets penetrated daily. I hope they make him wash drawers. You know what I'm saying? I hope they make that nigga get on his knees and bow down and kiss men's feet. I hope he get beat up on general principle. I hope his life is hell. He deserved every minute of it. Because the reason why he deserved it, for me, is he did it all in the name of Yahuwah while he was doing it. He called himself representing Yahuwah while he was doing it. We don't got no mercy or compassion for a man like that. May all the judgment that Yahuwah see fit to render upon him tenfold. I mean that, boy. You know what I'm saying? And any of you brothers around here, man, you already know he's going to see him about. He's seeing him now. That's why he's in prison getting plowed. Hopefully. All jokes aside, though, a lot of dudes, man, if you know dudes out here doing sour stuff like that, man, don't be covering up for these dudes, man. Don't be turning your head to what these dudes got going on, man. You need to call them niggas out for that junk. We be ready to call everybody out on all these platforms about some false doctrines, and you know dudes is out here living sour, doing sour, and don't nobody say nothing. But you'll want to bring up somebody's doctrine, how it's false, though. You niggas goofy as hell. You know what I'm talking about? That don't even make sense, man. Because you know the reason why I say that? That little girl could have been spared if somebody would have called this goofy man out years ago, and that lady might have not married him. Because she married him under the guise that she believed this was a just man. And dudes knew what he was doing. And ain't nobody say nothing. Because you want to be like, we can't condemn brothers. You know, we all fall short. Get the hell out of here with that nonsense, man. That was her daughter. Yeah, that wasn't even his child. Which I believe that's why some of these brews always be pressing by fooling with a woman with children, talking about how they should be feeling good by being with them, because some of them niggas got designs on touching on them women children. Because you got to be a weird nigga to try to downgrade somebody to make them want to be with you. I wouldn't care if she had 4 children. Nigga, if she don't want to be with you, because she don't want to be with you. If you got to try to run some type of word game on her to get her to be with you, that speaks more of who you are not as a man than who she is as a woman. In my humble opinion. What he said, it helps a brother get checked so we can get right again. That's right. That's real now. I'm just being honest with you. Because I see brothers use the word and use certain things to be like, man, these single mothers, they think they this or they think they that. I'll be like, bro, if you don't want to fool with a woman with kids, then why you fooling with a woman with children? How you going to try to insult somebody to be with you? That means you suck. If you have to insult a woman to be with you, that means that she don't want you anyway. You know what I'm saying? These dudes weird, man, because that's the only thing I come up with, because it be too many brews be talking down on chicks with kids, but then you getting with these chicks with kids. I think you want to touch on this woman's term. I think you want access to fulfill your pederasty or your pedophilia, you rat bastard. Because these niggas weird out here, man, and don't nobody want to say nothing. Am I lying? These dudes be beating on these women, killing these women, and I'm just talking about what the dudes do. We don't want to talk about the women do. They do something else. They don't do what the men do. They do something a little different. What most of them do is they just go from man to man. I mean, he was just known. I mean, he did that after he married her, so he definitely probably did it beforehand. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was like well known and maybe to everybody, but if you knew him, then you knew that there were a multitude of women that say, "Oh yeah, I know him. He sent me a penis pic." You know what I'm saying? But that's if you float in them circles. You know what I'm saying? I knew people who knew him. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how I knew him. And I knew what type of time he was on. You know what I'm saying? But they knew, it was people who knew him because he was a congregation mover. See, he would do some old foul stuff with some women in one congregation and then go to another. And then do the same thing all over.
Niggas really know what he was doing.
You know what I'm saying? So when he come to a new congregation, you may not know the people in the congregation that he was in.
Yeah, same thing Pastor did. Get your new congregation of people don't know what you've been doing.
The only people who really knew what he was on was the people that he knew in Detroit where he was from. So that boy moved all across the country. Defiling women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, niggas evil as hell, man. We ain't got no love for them niggas, man. I hope them niggas fall on the AIDS infested penis. You know what I'm talking about? Hope a nigga rip your nipples off. I ain't playing. So come on to Genesis 26 and 1.
The Revelation 12.
You already read it?
You had one Revelation 2.
Yeah, 2 and 10.
2 and 10.
Go ahead, let him go.
Fear none of those things which you shall suffer.
Fear nothing that you shall suffer.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
For how long?
That you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days.
10 days. Be faithful unto what?
Unto death.
Be faithful unto what?
Unto death.
Be faithful unto what?
Unto death.
Why?
And I will give you a crown of life.
That's all you need to do is be faithful unto death. He'll give you a crown of life. Just hold it down. You know who went to jail and got tribulation a little while? Micaiah. You know who went to jail and got tribulation a little while? Jeremiah. You know what I'm talking about? You got to understand that. Don't worry about what he's going to do to you. He said it's for you to be proved. It's for you to be proved so you can come out perfect on the other side. Because what he said, you had tribulation 10 days. He said, don't despise the chastening, didn't he? The chastening is for your perfection. Let's get this Genesis 26 and 1, man. Talk about the famine of Isaac. I was going to talk about the famine with Joseph, but we done talked about the famine with Joseph so many times over the years that that's just a whole nother conversation in itself. Because basically the famine of Joseph is the famine of Jacob, to be honest with you. Because that's how they found it. You remember that, right?
I ain't hear that lesson in a long time. If you ever know, 7 years of pain, 7 years of pain. I ain't hear it.
Oh, I mean, you could look at that 7 years of famine, not as it would be 7 years of like in the literal sense, but shoot, that time period where the beast running, that time period of plenty it's like the time period when the two witnesses prophesying. You know what I'm talking about? You got a little bit of word then. When the two witnesses go, well, you going into famine, boy. Yeah, you going into famine once them two witnesses gone, boy. It's ugly after that. Woo! You don't even know that, did you? Who told you that? I read about it. Cindy told me. He read it to me over the phone. I see. Think how she be teasing. He do too. That's my bedtime story. Oh, y'all do that for real?
My phone right to I try to stay up.
Oh, that's right, because you be at Amazon stacking Jeff Bezos packages.
Part time.
I don't care if it's midtime, sometime, all the time. You still around there doing it.
Get paid for my transmission.
You paid for my transmission. Now you can pull up and play your R. Kelly, huh? Your remix to Ignition, because it can go now. I just heard him call Corey Hogan. That joke was hilarious. He had R. Kelly sing on the phone for him.
No,
He did. He say, man, free R. Kelly. That's his homeboy, he said.
he sung for him.
He damn sure did.
I bet he did.
Come on, man. What you got for
You said Genesis 26:1, right?
26:1.
And there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in
There
the
was a
days of
what?
Abraham. A famine in the land.
Besides,
The first famine,
that was in.
the days of Abraham.
So we ain't even talking about Abraham. Ain't it something that all your forefathers suffered famine? So when you look at that, of course, we know Yahushua suffered famine also. How did he suffer? What baby that is? It sure was too. How did Yahushua suffer famine? Remember, he said, "I what?" Remember, they tried to give him that hyssop, which is that's when he. Remember, we talked about that before. His fourth is on the Day of Atonement with the affliction of his soul. He suffered famine also. When there was water, when he was thirsty, there was no water to drink. When he was hungry, there was no bread to eat. Go ahead.
And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And Yahuwah appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I should tell you of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you, and will baruch you. For unto you and unto your seed I will give all these countries, and I'll perform the oath which I swore unto Abraham your father.
That's right.
And I will make your seed to multiply as the stars of Shamahim, and will give unto your seed all these countries. And in your seed shall all the nations of the earth be baruched.
That's good. That's good. Come on to Genesis 41. We'll read it right now while we're talking about it. 41 and 14. Jalodale. What's out there? What's out there? Your mama ain't out there. She right there. Your brother ain't out there neither. Neither is your father. What's out there? Your gums? The trees out there? Oh, you must want to go out there. But the soil is moist. It's probably going to track mud. Yeah, it's going to track it on the floor, and we ain't going to mop it. You're trying to come with a compelling case of going outside. I'm almost sweaty. Come on, Genesis 41 and 14.
Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved and changed his raiment and came in unto Pharaoh.
They brought him out of the dungeon. He did what?
And changed it. shaved and changed his raiment and came in unto Pharaoh.
Read shave for me, Sid. Tell me the word and the characters. You might have to help him with the characters. That boy can't read.
All right.
I ain't trying to play. You said
got a lot.
last night.
That's the pole to shave off, to be bald.
The what?
To be bald, to shave off.
You what do you think he shaved, y'all? You think he shaved his hair or he shaved his beard? Why would you think he shaved his beard?
He was in prison. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of
No, he shaved his hair.
Yeah.
Either way, you gotta get fresh.
I thought the beard for morning and hair for
Gamal, Lamad, and Hay.
You sure about that?
Mm-hmm.
Gamal, Lamad, and Hay for shave. He wrong? Oh, he said you wrong.
cut.
It's what?
It's cut.
Cot. So it's Gamal, Lamad, and Cot.
Yes, sir.
See, the Hay got a separation on it. See?
You got a line.
The Cot is gonna be together. Gamal, Lamad, and Cot. What you got? Bud, close your legs.
Fair.
Yeah, because they look similar.
That's right.
If we got Gamal right, we're dealing with a messenger. We're dealing with Lamad, he's the shepherd. He's been separated by the meshes of the shepherd. Joseph is being brought out of the dungeon because now once he shaved his head and changed his clothes, which of course would make you think about Yahushua, son of Jehozadak, when he changed his clothes, but this is dealing with coming up out of the grave or the resurrection of the dead. Because now he gonna come forth and he gonna bring forth the witness of the testimony, just like he brought it forth to his disciples when he resurrected from the dead. That's why he's shaving his head and changing his clothes. That's why when you get baptized, what we read in Songs of Solomon 5:2 the other night, I take it off my coat, how could I put it back on? Because that's the point. You put off the body of sin, you put on Yahushua, that you should no longer live the rest of your time to fulfill the lust thereof. See, a lot of people, they don't want to continue to do that. See, I didn't heard the brother say this here, man, and we didn't have this conversation. It's real, I understand. He was like, man, I'm tired of sinning and say, Father, forgive me. You're only doing that because you feel like he owe you the forgiveness. You ain't got the drive to say, I ain't doing it no more. You don't believe the word. You ain't committed enough. That doesn't mean that you I'm lying. In heaven, it means you a wicked bastard. We can take it and make it spin and make people feel how we want to make them feel about it. But as far as heaven is concerned, you a wicked bastard. Now, the opportunity is there because 9 times out of 10, forgiveness is still there because you ain't never heard the truth for him to cut you off anyway. You know what I'm talking about? Like, if you ain't never heard the gospel, most people ain't put themselves in a position where he just finna cut you off. You know what I'm talking about? Most people, you only know laws in Israel, so you don't know enough to where he'll be like, you know what? I ain't fooling with you no more. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you'll see a lot of brews don't feel like Yahuwah done cut them off because he was like, I was never with you anyway. But if you don't receive the knowledge of the truth and you steady going this and doing this and doing this, that man be like, man, I ain't fooling with this nigga no more. This nigga's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's not the testimony for everybody, just to be dead honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's only for a scant amount of people. Most people ain't received the knowledge of the truth. Because, of course, you know, in our law, there is no sacrifice for willful sin. It don't exist. You know what I'm saying? You would never, the sacrificial system got exploited by this people because the people felt like, it don't matter, I got a bull and a goat. I'll bring it. That's not what he desired. When you actually pay attention to the sacrificial system, like if you actually stop and pause, which we're not going to do, and you stop and pause and you look at like when you look at Leviticus 16, that's specifically for the Day of Atonement. When you look at, say, Numbers 28, that's pertaining to the feast days. When you say you look at like when you unclean, you know what I'm saying? Or when you have a baby. When you look in the text, the only thing in the text that talk about making an offering of sin is out of ignorance. Everything else was tied to a specific event. You know what I'm saying? It was not necessarily for you committing sin. Have y'all ever taken the time to notice that? Have you noticed that? Have you seen that? You don't take some time on your own time. It's not something that you got to spend an inordinate amount of time on. But all you got to do is just look where you see the sacrifices mentioned at. You know what I'm saying? See, when he talked about bringing sacrifices, it was more so free will offerings, burnt offerings, voluntary offerings, offerings for feast days, offerings for Sabbaths. All like when you had a baby, remember they told him, hey, offer the turtle dove. Or if you got healed of leprosy, bring that. You know what I'm saying? There were certain things that you were bringing the sacrifices for a reason. Not just, oh, I seen my neighbor's wife and that. Because there's no sacrifice in the text for committing adultery. There's no sacrifice in the text for committing idolatry. There's no sacrifice. You're not going to read that nowhere. Because it's not there. Which pinpoints the point that we didn't talk about on ad nauseum, that there's no mercy in the law. See, most brews think that there's sacrifices for sins. It's not. The only place in the text that mentions sacrifices for sins is for the Day of Atonement. That's it. Besides Leviticus chapter 4, with the sins out of ignorance. Y'all are aware of that, right? Did y'all know that? Because when Leviticus 16 on Day of Atonement, the high priest made a sacrifice for who? Himself and then the people. That's when atonement, because what is atonement? That's reconciliation, right? That's kafar, that's purging. That ain't nowhere else in the law. Hebrews won't tell you that because they stupid as hell. They dumb as hell. They're around here tell you, see, that's the sacrificial. Get your stupid behind out of here, man. Where you seen that at? You had sacrifices for numbering the people, right? When they had to bring the shekels. You remember that in Exodus, in Leviticus? I might have to do it eventually, just so somebody don't think that I'm just making this up. You know what I'm saying? But there's nowhere in the text. Can anybody tell me what's the sacrifice offered for committing murder? Yourself. What's the sacrifice for committing homosexual acts? You know what I'm talking about? What's the sacrifice for coveting against your neighbor? What's the sacrifice you give for running for giving a false report? What's the sacrifice for feet swift to running the mischief? What's the sacrifice for laying with a woman who was betrothed? It ain't none. What's the sacrifice for a man raping a woman? Him. He got to die. There's nowhere in the text. I'll read you one before I continue. I'll just read you Leviticus 4, just so you can see. It might be chapter 5. It's the only one that mentions anything. Now you got your trespass offering. We'll look at all that real quick. Like I just run through this. You got chapter 1 in Leviticus 1 and tell you about your burnt offerings. Then you got your meat offerings. Then you got your peace offerings. Then you got your sin offering. And that is the one right there that I'm referring to. Verse 1, Leviticus chapter 4. He says, speaking to the children of Yasharal, saying, if a soul shall sin through ignorance against any one of the commandments of Yahuwah, which ought not to be done, and shall do against any of them, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people, let them bring for his sin, which he have sinned, a young bullock without blemish under Yahuwah for a sin offering. Could you please, for me, sir, could you give them the definition of ignorance in Leviticus 4 and 2?
That's shekagal. That is sin of error or inadvertence.
Inadvertence. That means you were not aware of what it was that you were doing. Now, give me what are they? Now you got your burnt offerings. You got again your meat offerings. One more time. What that trespass offering? Yeah, y'all will, and we'll come back around there and talk about it. I want you to come. Go over to Leviticus chapter 7, verse 1, and give me the definition of trespass offering.
That's Sean. That's guilt.
So
guilty.
That's the only thing you could get by with if you came with a trespass offering. I'm guilty. See, Yahushua was your trespass offering. He took on your guilt, but see, that's a whole nother conversation.
So it is the most kadosh. The trespass offering is the most kadosh.
The most kadosh. This ain't no regular offering. And what Yahushua was, the most kadosh.
Can't come clean.
Can't come clean in them. Come on, Eric. 41 and 14 one more time. I didn't want y'all to know that now. Well, what they done did to that baby? Who crying? That's Lil Ruth? What you did to Lil Ruth? You look like you did something to that baby. No, you did. You trying to blame Darius. Come on, Genesis 41 and 14.
Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved and changed his raiment and came in unto Pharaoh.
Pharaoh said
unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of you, you can understand the dream to interpret it. Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. Elohim shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river.
He stood where?
Upon the bank of the river.
What he seen?
And behold, there came up out of the river seven kine, fat flesh, and well favored, and they fed in the meadow.
And behold,
seven other kine came after them.
Good pick up on
poor and very ill favored, and lean flesh, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness.
For what?
For badness.
Tell them what badness is. Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
Bro, badness, evil.
Evil. He said, I ain't never seen no kind this evil. He said they were lean flesh. Tell me what lean flesh is.
That's rock, thin, lean, emaciated.
They emaciated. Come on. Verse 20, Genesis 41.
And the lean and the ill-favored kine did eat up the first seven fat kine.
Listen what it said. The wicked ate up the righteous. That's what it's telling you. Listen. Go ahead.
And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them up. But they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So
he said when they eating them up, it couldn't even be known that they were eating up the righteous. I didn't know. Go ahead.
And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good.
And behold,
7 ears, withered, thin, blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them.
The thin ears
devoured the 7 good ears. And I told unto the magicians, but was none that could declare it to me. Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh 1. Elohim have answered Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years.
The dream is 1.
The dream is 1. Continue.
Yep.
And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears, blasted with the east wind, shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What Elohim is about to do, he showed unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Mizraim. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine.
And all
the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Mizraim, and the famine shall consume the land.
It's the same way that the beast gonna consume the land, and there's a lot of people gonna forget about you in that day. Go ahead.
And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous.
Remember, he said there'll be a famine in the land, not of bread and not of water, but for the hearing of the word of Yahuwah. And it said the young men and women were gonna faint for thirst. Listen to it.
And for that the dream was double unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by Elohim, and Elohim will shortly bring it to pass.
He will shortly do what?
Shortly bring it to pass.
Do me a favor. Well, give me Revelation 11.
Top.
11. Yes, sir. We finna get ready.
It said they was giving me a reed like unto a rod, and the Malachim stood and said, rise and measure the temple of Elohim, and the altar and them that worship thereon.
That's right.
But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given to the Gentiles, and the Kadashiti shall tread under 42 months. And I will give unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall my witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days.
How long that is?
Clothed in sackcloth.
That's 3.5 years. That's 3.5 years of plenty. 3.5 years of food. That's the good kind, right? We're going to see who's going to eat up the good kind. It'll be the ill-favored kind, lean flat. That's what it said. Go ahead.
It said, these are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the Elohim of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devour their enemy.
And they should what?
And they shall devour their enemy.
Go ahead.
And if any man will hurt them, he must in
die.
This manner be killed.
He got to die like that. Ugly bastard. Come on.
These have power to shut up Shamahim.
That's right.
That it rain not in the days of their prophecy. And have the power over the water to turn them into blood.
And the blood.
And to smite the earth with all the plagues often as they will.
Paul, he said to smite the earth with what?
All plagues.
Plagues. See, we didn't get to the plague that's similar in Egypt. Because, see, there's going to be plagues that hit the earth that come from the 2 witnesses that ain't got nothing to do with the seals and the vials. And we know why. Because they're coming in the power and spirit of who? Moses and Elijah. And Moses and Elijah afflicted the kingdoms of which they prophesied in with plagues. Go ahead. And I'm mentioning this here, right? Because I don't want nobody to be like, oh, man, these things. Nah, but it's the same word. It's going to do the same. What? People quick to say, I'm Yahuwah, he don't what? Or they say, Yahushua HaMashiach what? Yesterday, today, and forever, right? So why would he not be consistent in his operation and application of his judgment so that you would know precisely and specifically and entirely that it is Yahuwah of hosts that is executing said judgment upon those who are his enemies? You know what I'm saying? Common sense should tell you that. Why would he do something drastically different and make you think it's a different God? Because can't we read in Revelation he's sending locusts again? Can't we read in Revelation he's sending lice again? Can't we read in Revelation he burning up these people's grass? Can't we read in Revelation he turning the water into blood? The only thing he ain't doing is killing the firstborn son. But even then, without the firstborn son, he said, I'm still killing the third or the fourth of the earth. I'm killing all these niggas. And he said they're going to be tormented with fire from heaven, scorched. Get it for me. Revelation 16 and 15. Read it to him. Make it 16 and 13. Got dudes right here talking about the battle of Armageddon is near. Slap yourself. Y'all know what the battle of Armageddon is, right? Is it a battle? What is it? It's a place. It's a place where it's called the Battle of Armageddon, just like the Battle of Gettysburg. The Battle of Gettysburg was fought in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So the Battle of Armageddon is called the Battle of Armageddon because it's fought in that specific location, which is really the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is where he say, gather them all up to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead there for my people, and I will judge them. Come on.
And I saw 3 unclean ruachs like frogs out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the ruachs of devils working miracles, to go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day.
So notice, the serpent, the devil, the false prophet, and the beast are going to be giving false words to convince the whole world to fight the Lamb. That's what they're going to be doing. Read it again.
And I saw 3 unclean ruachs like frogs out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles. Go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of that great day of Elohim Almighty.
What did he say they're going to be working?
Miracles.
What are miracles for? For unbelievers. So for people who don't believe in the devil, let me work some miracles so y'all can get down with me and fight the Lord. Read that last part of that verse again.
Which go forth unto the kings of the earth and the whole world to gather them to the battle of that great day of Elohim Almighty. Where'd you want verse? Go ahead. Behold, I come as a thief. Baruch is he that watch and keep his garments.
That watch and do what?
Keep his garments.
The one we talking about them garments last night. You better keep that white robe on. Come on.
Lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Go ahead.
And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
Called what?
Armageddon.
He gathered them to where?
Armageddon.
No, we said he gathered them to where? The what?
To a place.
The what?
A place.
A place. Come on.
And the seventh Malachim poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of Shamahin
What it said?
from the throne saying, "It is done."
Paul. See, that's what we're gonna need, because we're gonna eventually get to we're gonna go through all this. We might skip ahead and hit the 7 trumpets now, but if we do that, you probably ain't gonna give a damn about the other 5 seals. Because every trumpet is something individual, like I said, and then you got the vials. So this is, I just wanted to make this clear so you understand this here, right? The 7 seals get unleashed. That's just the beginning of judgment. Because remember, he say famines is just a what? Beginning of sorrows. Didn't Luke 21, he said you'll be killed for his name's sake? All the stuff that's in them seals is just the beginning. The first 6 seals is just the beginning. Save the 6th seal was dealing with the heavens falling, because that's when he come back. But then when you get to them 7 trumpets, now you got to deal with everything with them 7 trumpets. And you know what them 7 trumpets point you to in the book, don't you? It's been a long time. How did they bring down the walls of Jericho? They walked around blowing trumpets and brought it down. So when you look at them trumpets is representative of bringing these people down. But then after the 7th trumpet, now you get vials. And these vials are actually being poured out on the wicked. That's why it said that 7th vial, everything finished. But then once it transitioned, then it go to talking about that whore Babylon. And you know what Babylon was really about? Them gathering up to fight Yahuwah. When you look at Revelation 17, when you look at the gist of what Revelation 17 was talking about, it was to get them people to fight Yahuwah. That's really what it was about. Then you get to Babylon's destruction, and then it's over. So it's a lot of stuff that has to happen before it's over. Now, we came there because we seen that the 2 witnesses, and you can finish out where you at, they get a 3.5 year period. That's a time of great greatness. Because after these men get killed, niggas gonna get dark out here. Go ahead.
Where 17?
Revelation 11 and 17.
11 and 7.
11 and 7.
It said, when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit.
The who?
The beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit.
What he gonna do to him?
He shall make war against them.
He gonna do what?
Make war against them.
You see how that's the lean flesh, very bad, eating up the good kind?
And shall overcome them and kill them.
So once he overcome the good kind, that opens up the famine. Because what does the book say? You will not be able to do what? Unless you in covenant with this man. Which means you'll be buying an ass head for what? 4 score silver. Because it would be a famine in the land. Oh boy, they don't want to hear that. We might run it back on Wednesday with the whole full play. They don't want to hear that. They don't think we're just talking about our money. Huh?
On the left hand side, that's what we enjoy it. So
you would think it would till they experience it. I'm gonna tell you something about oppression. I ain't even disregarding what you say, because I definitely, on the surface, they definitely gonna feel exactly how you feel. What you stated, I should say. You know what I'm saying? That's 100% accurate till you get in it. See, oppression and tyranny seems lovely when you're in a bad state. Then when you get inside the oppression, you begin to realize this is not going like I thought it would. Because he's absolutely right. To those on the left, this is great. And then they go to realizing, son, this nigga killing a whole lot of people. I'll tell you something, man. When a nigga got absolute power, man, you can't breathe wrong. This nigga make enemies. Yeah, look at right. When you have absolute power like that, this is something he would do. He would just kill everybody in this house just to prove to his enemies, don't fool with me. You may have not even been his enemy. You may have not said anything about it, but he has to put fear in the populace in order to maintain control and the power that he seeks and desires to maintain. That's how it goes down. Any man who's ever been considered to be a dictator kills at will.
Like they have, like you be on the bad side and you might just rush your side of the head.
That's how they made the Joker character on Batman.
Like he killing people even on his side just like he
Because he has to do that in order to maintain fear. See, fear is a great motivator for a despot. See, a lot of people will come to Yahuwah and be like, he's a murderer. He killed Yahuwah. Ain't never killed nobody who didn't bring that upon themselves by disobeying his word. because it's consequences for your choices when it comes to that. You understand? So then when you turn around and you look at it, Yahuwah does not seek to have people fear him through the threat of violence. Because he said he's going to draw you with what?
Love and kindness.
Satan ain't drawing nobody but with violence. Threats.
But that's the only way you can really get somebody to die for you. Nigga not gonna die for me.
No. That's why the Lord said that if it wasn't for the elect's sake, no flesh would be saved, because this man gonna kill everybody. He's gonna be too paranoid. He gonna think everybody against him, because all he cares about is doing one thing, and that's maintaining power. So then when you know his power comes from the serpent, and you know that the devil comes through the what? Steal, kill, and destroy. That's all he know how to do, because he's a murderer from the beginning. Murderers ain't got eternal life in them. And if a murderer ain't got eternal life in him, guess what that means? He ain't got in him. The love of God ain't in him. I just seen a lady talking about love ain't enough to keep a marriage going. And then she went to mentioning stuff. And you know everything she mentioned was in 1 Corinthians 13. She said marriage is hard work. You got to be patient. You got to be selfless. You got to but she not realizing that at the end of the day, that some people like everybody don't follow the Christian ethos. See, that's the problem. See, you want the love that's the emotional, romantic love that Hollywood sold you. So when you say love ain't enough, it's because you're thinking about a feeling. When the books say love never fails. The love of God is not a feeling. The love of God is a work. Literally a work. So when people say marriage is work, the book literally says that. Because you literally going to have to, 1 Corinthians 13:1.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and of Malachim and have not charity, I am become sounding brass or tinkling cymbal.
Mm-hmm.
And though I have prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I can remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. Mm-hmm. And though I bestow all my goods to feed, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profit me nothing. Mm-hmm. Charity suffer long.
Charity do what?
Suffer long.
That means charity is slow to wrath. Love is slow to wrath.
It's kind.
Love is kind. Hold on. Aren't those two attributes of Yahuwah? So when you see John write Elohim is love, you can see why he could say that. What's the next one?
Charity, envy not.
Charity. Now you know Yahuwah ain't got no need to envy nobody. And what do we see with envy? Who can stand before what? Envy. So those who got love in them, you can stand before them because they ain't got no envy. What's the next thing?
Charity vaunteth not itself.
Does that mean it ain't proud?
It is not puffed up.
Go ahead.
Do not behave itself unseemly.
Does that mean it don't deal itself in an uncouth manner?
Seek not her own.
It's not selfish.
It's not easily provoked.
You can't easily move me to wrath.
Think no evil.
And they ain't got no evil in their mind. How you love somebody, you got evil in your mind towards them? That don't even make sense. He said he that loved his brother got what? Eternal life in him. He said, this is a commandment that you have from the beginning, that you ought to love one another. Whosoever's love his brother, death can't be on him. He's converted over from death unto life. How you love somebody and you think evil? You know, you think evil, you talking about thinking bad. You want to do bad to them? That don't even make sense. What did we read in Jeremiah 29? He said, I know my thoughts towards you, and they ain't evil. Ain't that what he said? So that means he ain't coming to kill. You bringing that on yourself. See, a lot of niggas don't want judgment for their choices and their wickedness. Go ahead.
Rejoice not in iniquity.
Don't rejoice in lawlessness.
But rejoice in the truth.
Rejoice in the faithfulness
Beareth
of God.
all things.
Endure all things.
Believeth all things.
That's right.
Hope all things. Endure all things.
That's right. Why?
Charity never fails.
Love don't fail.
But whether prophecies.
He say love don't fail. He said it don't fail. So when you see people talking about, oh, I fell out of love, they were in an emotional attachment. Because love don't fail. If you actually love somebody, how is it? Because if you say love fails, then you say Yahuwah fails. You have to consider what you're saying. Come on, where I had you at before?
I'm at 11.
Read the Revelation 11:7 one more time.
It says, and when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them and shall overcome them and kill them, and their bodies in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our master was crucified. And they of the people.
That's good, right? Because we know he reigned 3 after they kill him. How long it say the beast get the rule for? 3.5 years. So like I said, it's not the 7 and 7. But didn't it say you had 7 good years and then the bad years come after? You got 3.5 years of prophecy, and then them bad kind ate up them good years, and now you got to deal with that famine afterwards. Now you got to deal with that famine afterwards. It ain't no word. Ain't no word. Ain't no word. You know what I'm talking about? But hallelujah for y'all who trying to work. We'll come back with it, y'all willing, on Wednesday and cycle through it and spin it on to it. So I appreciate y'all, Bishop out the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Brother Ellis, I don't know if you seen that when I put it in the chat yesterday, but I'm gonna do it again.
That's why it's hard coming off that bench.
Hard coming off that bench.
But yeah, just weigh and consider, man. We might come back a little bit more and talk about the underlying themes that pertains to the famine of Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Read it, Brother Francis. And we'll rock it like that. But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. You who willing, man. We're going to come through, make it do what it do one more time.
I appreciate it.
Y'all willing till Wednesday, man. We'll be back at it.
At least once a week.